Hi, I'm Jamie, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for September 17th for Alien Earth. Tonight's episode, we're talking about Emergence, which is episode 7. Since I did have the YouTube video marked wrong until like 5 seconds ago, it is episode 7. So if you haven't seen episode 7, you might want to go watch that first. But let's see what else. We have Daryl Dixon on Sunday at 11 with our watch party at 9:30. So don't miss that as well. I'll bring Scarlett in. There you go. Hey, Scarlett, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
But that's Sunday, and then I believe we haven't made a definitive decision, but I think our Monday show is going to be moved to Thursday. You can always find out on our Discord all our updates on everything, which I put the link in the chat. So if you haven't joined our Discord, please make sure you do. And please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hype the video if you can, leave comments, all that good stuff. It helps us out. But yeah, we're going to talk about this week's episode. And this week was freaking crazy. I love this week. I mean, it was, a lot of shit went down. What did you guys think?
Scarlett?
I liked it for the same reasons. One of the things that I like that nobody else seems to like is Wendy talking to the Xenomorphs, which I find fascinating. I like all the interactions with the aliens, and I don't think it's going to end well for the humans.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
But most of the humans don't deserve humans and robot adults. Most of them don't deserve a good ending, right? They don't deserve her to end well. There are fewer and fewer people for you to root for in this all the time, right?
Well, I kind of felt bad for all the underlings that got attacked with a xenomorph because they're probably just all low level.
That's right, yeah. Oh, they're not even like red shirts. They're just like guys that showed up in one episode to be killed. They're
and boy wants to grab like a mold, one of those mold, fighter
mold
sprayer guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty much expendable, I guess.
I think everybody's expendable to him, to be fair.
That's true.
I really enjoyed this episode for all the reasons you guys did, but I really enjoyed, I feel like there's such a level of subtext, or so many people who spoke in this episode. I'm like, wait, did they mean this, or did they also mean that? And so much dialogue was so loaded in this episode. Everybody's motivations are so complicated. And we talked about a little bit in the watch party, Scarlett. We'll talk about it some more tonight, because we're all noticing it, and there are just so many things that you can read 2 or more ways. And I love
that's why Nola Hawley is a master class.
Yeah.
I really like the stuff, especially with how much that mold scrubbing job pays. I also like Misha
minimum wage.
Because you're right, that's what it is. I liked a lot of the stuff with Kirsch in this episode. We had talked about last week, and I think even the week before, about what was he up to, why was he letting it happen, was he just watching, that kind of thing. So I found that interesting, and I thought his scenes were pretty funny in regards to the boys. But also I did like Wendy talking to the Xenomorph, and it's going to change things maybe, but I like that. I think because it's different, and I liked it too, that part. But I'm not sure everybody does. I don't know. I haven't really read what people thought, but I could see that being something that some people maybe don't necessarily like.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's super. I mean, when you say people don't like it, people don't like that aspect of the story that she's able to talk to it, or they don't like it is super creepy and disturbing to hear her make those noises, right? Is that what people don't like?
No, they don't like it because they become her lapdog, which I don't think is exactly the case. And you got this female character talking to the Xenomorphs, and you can't have female characters, doing anything, even though Alien is full of female characters.
I mean, Alien's totally about a strong female lead in.
Yeah, but I read a comment on a YouTube video that said they didn't like female characters in Alien.
Yeah, well,
It was confusing.
Those kind of trolls need to,
Yeah.
Because I think even in the Alien comic books, there's characters that at least attempt to talk to xenomorphs, and then I think there's one where the xenomorphs trick the guy because he thinks they're going to be his lapdogs, and they're like, "Surprise, we're not." You know.
I think we should. I want to put a pin in that because, like, I really also disagree with the idea that the xenomorph is Wendy's lapdog.
Yeah.
And so little has been seen in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It really remains to be seen what Wendy and the xenomorph are to each other. And I want to talk. I have some theories. I think all three of us have theories about that we can get into. And I'm sure.
Well, I think Boy should also had the sheep do a few more numbers in pi before he decided that he was going to put the eyeball on something else.
Yeah. Well, I think we knew that I don't know. I felt like it was a given that eventually they're going to try to get it to talk. Although it had a chance when it was in that other guy and it didn't talk. But
I think that guy was dying. I think he was injured.
Yeah. And I saw somebody, and I don't remember now. I hate when I can't remember who said something. So whoever said this to me, I apologize. I feel like it was a comment on one of our videos. So whoever said it, I apologize. But somewhere I read something about somebody's theory that maybe two of the Octo-Eye aliens were meant to like work in conjunction with, like, when it takes over a body, and that like they each control it. So like I'm wondering if maybe that's why it didn't talk. Like maybe if there was another one, then they can completely control the whatever.
I mean, are you getting at the idea that the human brain has two hemispheres, and you would need to control like each optic nerve is going into hemisphere? Maybe.
And I wish I could remember who said it too. I feel like it was a comment on our video. I probably should look while I'm talking.
And yet it uses both of the goat's legs. And it controls the goat wholly it controls 4 legs out of 1 eye.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just remember reading it, and I don't know where I've seen it.
It's pretty romantic. That's a romantic idea that it needs a partner in order to accomplish it.
I don't know. It would be interesting anyway.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't agree with it right now, but I'm basing it on a sheep, so I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But it'd be so romantic. It'd be like, I need my partner in order to take over the sheep.
Yeah.
And we embrace our tentacles together.
Oh my God, Scarlett so wants this to be a romantic.
Oh, look at me. I just transformed and transmutated.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I don't know. It was in that one guy that I can't remember his name, that we talked about before, and I don't think it actually talked in him, but maybe it just hadn't had time to assimilate. I don't know.
I think that guy was severely injured and about to die.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That was just injured.
Yeah.
That it tried and couldn't because it couldn't get the full power.
Yeah, well, I would like to see it go into a person though, and
I'm sure you will, Jamie.
To talk. Yeah, I think it's going. I mean, I kind of figured that was going to happen anyway, but now that that's his plan, I just wonder if
we can probably just guess who it's going to be. I mean, there's a handful.
Yeah,
of
I can guess. Yes, who wants it to be, but I kind of wonder if there's like kind of a good chance, in my opinion, that in the end it's going to take over him.
Oh yeah, and he's going to love it. I feel like it's going to be a color out of space thing where he sees like alien planets and he's like, oh, this is the best conversation I've ever had, but he's like dying at the same time. Finally, someone smarter than me. Blah, blah.
I look forward to his. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. I look forward to his grisly death.
Yeah, I agree. Samuel says, I wonder if we'll see Ocellus reproduce. I still think there's a chance that Nibs could be sick and we don't know it yet, but
what do you mean?
Haven't mentioned
not functioning? She can't be sick.
Pregnant. She's pregnant with one of these things.
Infected by the other. Oh, that's right. I keep saying that, and then I remember. Wait, she's not human. I don't think it can.
She's not an organic. She's not an organic.
Yeah, she's not organic. But it would still be interesting if it somehow made little eyeballs. I don't think it did, but it would be interesting if it did.
Impregnate her little eyeballs.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible because she's
probably not.
I don't know on this show just about anything's possible. So
yeah, I don't know.
Science is not really science here.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Science is what you think of it.
So when we start the episode, this is finally the culmination of what we've been expecting. I mean, through the whole last quite a few episodes, Slightly here had agreed to, sneak an alien to Morrow, because he has his mother, obviously, and he finally did it at the end of the last episode, and he's got Arthur there hidden under his bed with the face hugger on him. What was he trying to do? Feed him? Is that what he was saying? I couldn't understand what he was saying.
He said, Arthur, I thought you might be thirsty.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's trying to give him
Or hungry,
water
yeah.
or something, and he made it choke him more. It
Yeah, I
looked
don't
like
think
bottle
that was
of soap,
a good
though.
idea.
Wait, one at a time, you guys. One at a time, please.
Sorry, it looked to me like a bottle of soap, though, when he did that. It was really weird.
Oh, I didn't catch the label on the bottle, Scarlett. I don't know if you did, but it was.
Oh, it just said Prodigy. It just says this logo from the company.
Oh, it was like Dharma water. It was Prodigy water.
Prodigy water.
But yeah, Jamie, he says, Arthur, I thought you might be thirsty, and attempts to give him a drink. Why? I don't know. I don't know why.
The sucking noises are so disturbing in the scene.
I love that.
Creepy.
I mean, I love how disturbing, and that was new. We've not heard someone with a face hugger kind of
breathing
breathing and wheezing, because you have something. You have we know that it goes down your esophagus into your lung, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool sound effect.
It was, and it definitely didn't Slightly trying to feed it or give it water. That's for sure. It tightened.
Well, he wasn't trying to give it water. He was trying to give
Arthur water, but it didn't. It didn't like him trying to pull it off his mouth. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it tightened it. I mean, I think that's just kind of a naivety of the kid, trying to make it better, make him comfortable, because he doesn't want Arthur to die. I'm kind of curious. Through a lot of this, I was curious if he honestly believed that he would live, or he was, convincing himself that. But then I thought about it after. I do think they both believed it. I mean, they're kids. They're told a lie a lot of times, and they're going to believe it because they're naive. And I don't think he clearly didn't want to hurt Arthur, but yeah. So I think maybe he thought everything would be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I love the interaction between these two actors.
Yeah. But either way, he shoved him under his bed and hit him there, which was funny, I thought.
Actually, you say you think it's funny that he's been under the bed. I was reading Sean Collins, who recapped this for the New York Times, wrote that he thought it was really maybe one of the most frightening scenes in the entire episode. And his comment was that there really is a monster under the bed, but the child has put it there himself.
Okay, I hadn't thought about it that way.
That's what Collins had to say about it, and that it was a really freaky. I don't think it was not the most frightening thing in the episode, but it was very meaningful.
I guess just the idea of him trying to hide it, to me, it is a little silly. He really thinks that he can get away with this and nobody's noticed.
Okay, but he's 10. Have you talked to him?
No, I said it's because he's a kid and he's naive. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It's just.
I mean, Arthur's arm, when Smee comes in here, Arthur's arm is totally sticking out from under the bed, right?
Is that a person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smee comes in and he's like, "What did you do? What did you do?" But yeah, he does at least question Slightly if it's going to kill him. And he tells him that, he's being blackmailed, that Morrow's going to kill his family. But he's like, no, he's just going to take the monster and he'll let him go and everything will be fine. You just need to help me. And he convinces me to help him. Yeah. So like I said, they're both very naive for good reason. But I do think they believe it. I think they think everything will be just fine. But it is kind of funny. Like you said, he sees his arms sticking out. He didn't do a very good job hiding it, I guess, is what I find kind of a little funny.
Yeah, but it was hardly any security that you got him back to his bedroom about your problems.
Yeah, I think the only person that knew was Kirsch, and Kirsch obviously let him do it.
He's just letting her ride.
Yeah. He's seeing how it goes.
This scene is the beginning of, I mean, I don't think we can say it enough times in this episode. Every single Jonathan Ajayi, I'm going to maybe pronounce it wrong. Sorry, Jonathan Ajayi, who plays Smee. He nails every scene in this episode. He is, I mean, he's really I think he might be the best actor on the show. And he nails this episode completely. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I always believe that he's the age he's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the two of them together, but especially him, I agree.
Yeah, I look at this man with like full facial hair and I'm like, oh my God, he's just a little kid. He doesn't know what to do. I know. Jamie, I fully believe he's a child.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. So Kirsch, meanwhile, finally goes to investigate the lab and everything that's gone down. And he locks it down so that the cleanup crew can come in. There's a good picture there of our resident sheep. But yeah, he does lock it down and they come in and clean it up. Through this whole thing, he's very unconcerned still, or seems to be unconcerned anyway. And I know we said these last couple of weeks, like, what is Kirsch up to? He sees everything as it's happening. He's not stopping it. Does he want people to die? Does he just not care? Does he want to see what happens? So yeah, I found him very interesting in this episode, and I don't know what I actually expected the answer to that to be, but I like kind of the whole point of why he did it in the end. So yeah, I like that. But Boy Cavalier is obviously a little too excited about all this too. He should be scared and he's not, which is a problem. And then that one part though is also horrible when he's joking around and before. I mean, granted, I don't think at this point he realized it when he's saying, I forget exactly what he says, but he said,
"Should I like make them go to the rooms or like?" And
yeah. He says one of the children got careless, and then Boy Cavalier says, "Which one? I'll send him to bed without supper." But Kirsch is like that one, like that body laying there. Like, how do you not see that? And I don't think when he made the joke he had seen him, but he clearly is not.
Is it a joke? Is it a joke? Is Kirsch capable of making a joke?
No, not Kirsch. When he says about he'll send him to bed without supper, I meant. I don't think he realized at that moment he was dead. But once he did realize he was dead, like, he didn't care, other than the fact it was a lot of money he lost.
Yeah, billions, yeah.
Yeah, because he says
that's what he cares about.
Yeah, that's all he cares about. But yeah, they do explain that, or Kirsch explains rather, that those bugs, that they digest food outside of their bodies and that they must have not had organic matter on their world, so that's why they eat inorganic matter. But Boy Cavalier does ask, can we reboot and restore? So he intends to try to bring Toodles back if he can. And Kirsch basically says, like, we would think so, but we don't know how, is sort of what he says in a roundabout way. But that it wasn't an accident, and then he shows him the video of our resident octo-eye sheep.
But you're skipping the part where Boy Cavalier goes, well, there goes that $6 billion. Yep. He's very cold, right? He's very he really does not see these as kids and people as much as he plans to sell it to humans as a way to perpetuate your human life and defeat death. He really doesn't see them as such, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are they keeping the flies stored without them just dissolving whatever they're in?
I know they have to be in like a plastic. What he said was that he says they eat mostly minerals. So could you? I mean, I wonder if you put them in like a vegetable-based plastic cage, would they not eat it because it's not mineral-based? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they don't eat glass. I mean, they eat metal, but I don't know.
We saw them eat some metal. He says they eat minerals, is what he says in this episode.
Right, but the Toodles. I mean, obviously the synth body, I assume, is metal. I mean, maybe not, but I'm kind of assuming it's
largely. Much of it is, yeah.
Also, it eats through the metal of the control panel that it's gonna like break out of.
That's largely iron, right? That's probably like steel iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of Nautilus, Jamie, when they had those bugs that dissolved everything.
Yeah, no, me too. When it can eat through metal, it's not a good thing, but maybe not the glass. I don't know. Then again, though, to be fair, when they first put those bugs in containment, it was like that cocoon. It wasn't like flies. They came out after.
Well, like not all acid eats through everything. Like if you ever used like a sulfuric acid in the chemistry lab, it's kept in a glass bottle, right?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, so maybe the glass is okay. But yeah, like when they put it in there, though, it was in a cocoon, so they may also have not known at the beginning what it was gonna even be.
I think Kirsch knew. Kirsch has all the records from the Maginot. He plugged it. He knows everything that happened on the Maginot. I think Kirsch knows. He just doesn't volunteer any information.
Yeah, he expects him.
He's like, whatever, boy Cavalier. You want him in a metal cage? Sure, that's fine. Let's do it.
Let's put this thing in your eyeball, boy. Let's see how it goes.
I can see how this goes.
Yeah.
But he does show him the video of Octo Sheep or whatever actually causing it to happen. And Kirsch makes a comment.
Victoria.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, Victoria.
Oh yeah, Victoria. Yeah. But makes a point. I don't remember exactly what the wording is, but he makes a comment about like why did it do it, because it wasn't helping itself. Like it didn't benefit Victoria on its own.
Octo didn't benefit.
Yeah, so like why did it do it to help the other alien? Like were they working together maybe? It makes me question, definitely. Like that's
just for the lulz.
Just for the lulz, maybe.
Now we've seen it twice, right? But
so I don't know.
I mean, just for the lulz, I get that, Scarlett. Like if I'm in jail and I'm in my cell and you're going to escape and I can't escape, I'm still going to cheer you on as you escape, right?
Yeah, if I'm going to do something that makes, that violates my oppressors, sure.
Yeah, right.
I'll laugh when, the door gets slammed on them.
Or to Jamie's point, like, is it smart enough to see 2 or 3 steps ahead that like if I can create havoc in this lab, maybe there's an opportunity for me to get out somehow.
Yeah.
Look, it got closer to boy. Like I can't wait to talk about this next scene.
Yeah, whenever he's talking to it. Yeah. I think that's the other problem. Not a problem with the show, but I mean a problem that Boyd Cavalier doesn't seem to see is he is like so interested in the science in the sense that like he's just curious, you know what I mean? And like he no matter what happens, he is not seeing the danger, and obviously it's going to come back around to bite him, but like he's so like, oh, this is so cool. It's like, no, this is not cool. I love later when a security guard's like, this is not a good, like he said earlier in the chat, he says, this is not a good idea. And to him, oh, this is fun. And I don't think it's going to probably end up fun for him forever.
I think fun, I think it's dollar signs, right?
That too.
Yes, it's fun because he, is so vain and arrogant that he's incapable of showing any restraint or caution, but he also just is like thinking, I think, how many more trillions he could make. He doesn't even know, but somehow there's trillions of dollars here, I think, right?
Yeah, the whole move fast to break things concept.
Yeah, and I think he also probably figured that everybody will protect him because he's who he is. Like he can do anything because he's a trillionaire.
And nobody says no to him. Like he's like, let me like move this sheep into my office. Let me move the possessed sheep. and the guy just says this is not a good idea, and then immediately backs down.
I'm just wondering how much Kirsch is thinking this guy is a complete idiot.
Really, none of this is a good idea if you think about it.
I think Kirsch also looks forward to Boy Cavalier's grisly death.
I think he does too. I do think he does. So yeah. He either way, they know what the Octo-Eye did, and they question why. Then, okay, that's the video. Sorry.
I think that Octo-Eye is the top apex alien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think that while we were watching a show called Alien, that we have seen the Xenomorph for like 3 decades, and we think that's the main danger, I think we're maybe really watching a show about Octo.
Yeah, could be.
Well, I joined the Oculus Prime cult here with my little picture.
Prime. Yes, Oculus
Yeah.
Prime. Prime being the operative word, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I
they
feel
could
good
be
in my
enemies,
new form.
too. Yeah, I think that they could end
Feels
up
good.
being that, like, they're like the ultimate enemies of the xenomorphs, maybe, or something.
Well,
'cause they
yeah,
have
because they don't
somehow
have
feel
eyes. I think that might be a good sign.
That they
have-
evolve.
or that they
Yeah,
protect their
evolve,
eyes,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Whatever way they see, they're fully shielded and protected against invasion by Teocellus.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. So while they're busy watching all that, Wendy comes in, and
Because they still haven't not allowed them to come in the lab.
Oh my God!
I know. At one point, they're like, "No more kids in the lab." But and then Kirsten's like, "Well, but Wendy can come in." He's like, "Yeah, just watch her." Like,
Yeah.
that you would think he'd learn, but hey. Yeah, Wendy comes in and she's like, "Yeah, but he can't die. We're premium." Like, she thinks like they're invincible, or at least I guess feels like it. Like, I think she maybe knows they're not, but they've come to feel like they're invincible, and she's shocked that he's dead. Again, they clearly still have some emotions, because
I thought what shocked her was that there was nothing that could be done. Not that he was dead. You know, like we've seen, like Wendy has been like knocked offline, brought back. Nibs has been like, I thought what shocked her was that there was no effort being made, and that they had sort of given up and been like, we can't bring him back. Not that she thinks she's immortal and can't die, but that she thinks she can always be fixed. Maybe,
That's
right?
interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way. I just know she said that they're
look at the way they fixed her once. Like, she was a human who was dying, and they fixed her by making her a robot, right? And I think I thought maybe she thinks they would always just be fixed. They get out a wrench, a little soldering iron, and
either way, she's definitely upset. And Boy Cavalier, like, he after tells Kirsch to talk to her, he's the one that gets her upset because he doesn't know how to talk to people. Because she's like, I gotta go, tell everybody. And he's like, no, because you're just gonna freak them out and make them think they're not safe. And then she's like, we're not safe. Like, well, you just said it, you dumbass. Like,
what did you think of that kind of Noe Holly superimposing thing that made it seem like the Exomorph and Wendy were almost telepathically connecting at that moment when she said they're not safe?
Yeah, because she also thinks, like, is the Xeno, does she mean the Xeno? Does that mean the Xenomorph is not safe?
Yeah, well, maybe the Xenomorph also thinks it's not safe.
Because it's not.
Because it's not.
What superimposed? I missed that. I didn't catch.
Yeah, there's a little moment where you see like a shot of the Xeno, and I'm like, wait, does that mean Wendy's like thinking about the Xeno, or it's just in there listening and it understands English? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely think, without spoiling it, whenever I know in the preview she says we, and I kind of think the same thing. Like, I think when she's talking about we, she might be talking about the Xenomorph as
all these people that are trapped at Prodigy.
Yeah,
the aliens and the hybrids that are trapped at Prodigy.
Yeah. But either way, he's the one that gets her scared. And
but I think that you skimmed over what I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the scene where Wendy says what happened to him, and Kirsch goes, science?
Right? I thought it was later, but no, it might be here. I guess it probably is here.
She's like, what happened to Toodles? And he's like, science. And I was like,
that was a good one.
I like paused my screen for a minute to think about that, because we had discussed last week, did Kirsch like send Toodles in there on purpose, knowing that he would break protocol and something would happen? Like, how much of this did Kirsch, we talked all about that? And when he says, what happened to Toodles' science? I didn't know if he meant like, well, we brought there are two levels here. One is like, was he conducting a science experiment that Toodles was the victim of? Or is there a different kind of more philosophical level where he's saying like, well, we're doing bad science here and that gets people killed?
Yeah, I have
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I like that science bitch.
Science bitch.
I don't think I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think Kirsch sent him knowing or intending for him to get killed. I think he didn't necessarily care. And I said, I think a lot of it seems to me that he's watching and learning and just kind of taking it all in.
But if he's watching and learning, then he could have intervened and been like, Toodles, don't go in there, be careful.
I don't think he cares enough to intervene.
He doesn't care enough.
He's not human, and I think it's kind of like, why bother? It's not my problem.
Well,
that's a
plus
problem,
he thinks these are what's replacing him.
That too.
So why does he care?
I mean, he's not human, but like the first law of robotics is that robots can't endanger humans. Now, Toodles is not human, or is he human?
Does everybody follow that?
Yeah, but this isn't. I mean, I don't know. This isn't an Isaac Asimov show, so I don't have to say all of that.
Okay, I mean, obviously Wendy's able to hurt humans and Nibs is able to hurt humans, but they are full synths. He's an android. He's a robot, Kirsch, right?
Yeah.
But Toodles is not a human, or is he a human? Right?
Question. Yeah, but that I don't know. I think I kind of feel like Kirsch is just biding his time and watching and learning, and I don't know, that's how I feel. And like I said, it's kind of like, that's a you problem. That's not like, he knows it's happening, but he doesn't care enough to stop it from happening. And maybe also he figured it would piss off Boy Cavalier too, losing that money. So maybe to him that wasn't necessarily a bad thing in that sense, because I do think that he doesn't like Boy Cavalier. I get the sense that he doesn't.
Yeah, I think by the time we get to the end of this episode, there's evidence that he's playing a long game here, a long con, and Toodles might have been a death that is necessary to the con.
Yeah, collateral damage, as they say.
Yeah. Is he working for another company? Maybe
that would be interesting.
I mean, I thought that for a time, and then I thought something else by the end of this. But
I changed what I thought too.
Anyway, yes, this is where she said. Anyway, I got us way off track, but science, bitch. She's like, what happened? Science.
The answer. Either way, he is intending to rush off and tell the other kids, because she said, "Oh, excuse me," because she says you can't just erase things. And
we're not safe here. We're not safe here.
We don't want to die.
Yeah.
I love that that's the thing she took out of, like, he's like, I don't want you to think you're not safe. And she's like, we're not safe here. Like, that's the thing she hears, right?
And that's what I said.
That's what I thought she heard. I thought she telepathically heard from the Xenomorph.
Who also is not safe. Well, Boy Cavalier says it, and Jamie, you pointed that out, that she latches onto that. Yeah. And she's like, I got to tell the other kids we're not safe here. And
it's what I said. Like, he was trying to get her not to do it, and he kind of caused it, I felt like. But she rushes off, and he says that they gotta, get to the other kids before she gets there. Which
but she also did that little voice thing though, and had the Xenomorph smash its head against them and close.
Yes, that was so awesome when they're like, you can't leave, or you can't tell. I forget, Scarlett, maybe you recall what it is they tell her, and she's like,
yeah, you can't leave, and she made a little clicking noise, and they're like, oh no.
And its head against the glass.
Threat, or we're not sure.
And the look on Boy Cavalier's face when she did that was priceless.
Yeah. I really like their language. I think it's really pretty.
Yeah, it is.
There it is, banging its head, right?
Yeah.
And it also kind of reminds me too, though, of the a little bit of the Teocellus when it did that too, though, like as a distraction. So I don't know. But either way, he's like, we got to get to them before we're done.
He's like,
and then I guess they give up, because they don't ever even try to get to the kids after this. They say they're going to, but they don't rush to the kids, because she gets to everybody before they do.
I mean, he certainly didn't mean that he personally, Boy Cavalier, would get to the kids, right?
Right.
This might also,
they didn't do a
this
good
might
job
also be where he says to Kirsch,
where's
he says it later.
Yeah, he does say to him, here, we got to get to him. And then that's where he tells him the trackers have been turned off.
They're $1 billion a piece.
Yeah. So the trackers are off, so they can't find him, I guess, is the other thing. Clickety, click, click.
They can't just turn that back on again? That seems weird.
Yeah, that did seem weird. I kind of wondered too, like, why can't they just reverse it, other than it would?
Why can't they just? it just seemed like it was like this green text and it said like trackers on, off, click, get 1 or 2, and they click off and it goes off. Why couldn't they just turn the trackers right back on from their computer?
The only thing I would say is maybe he doesn't know how to work it because he lets all his underlings do it, but he's supposed to be a genius. I would think he would know how to fix
well,
it.
Kirsch could work it. Kirsch just has to like plug it, like
Kirsch has to care enough.
He has to tell Kirsch to do it,
or has to be instructed to do it. I don't know that Kirsch could deny a direct instruction.
Right, but he'd have to tell him to do it. I think he doesn't do something unless he's instructed to. But yeah, I kind of question why they don't turn them back on, other than that would ruin the story and they couldn't get away. That's part of it. So we can't have that happen. But he does know that Arthur and Joe were the ones that did it. So they figured it out by the video because they make a mention of that in this point. There it is. They figured that out. Line, and that Toodles is dead, and there's the
for now.
Xenomorph. Yeah. So Wendy goes to talk to her brother, and she tells him what happens, and he says, it's not safe, and she agrees with him. Agrees we got to go, and she's like, but we can't because they track us, and he's like, not anymore. And she asks about the other children. Did he fix it for them too? And when he says yes, she's automatically like, okay, well, we got to go save them too. And, he, with good reason, is saying, I don't know how much time we have. We need to go now. I kind of wonder if they had gone right away, if they could have maybe gotten away. But yeah, she's like, no, we got to stop and try to save everybody else.
Yeah, nobody really has good timing in this episode.
They don't. But I mean, she basically says they're her family, and she's like, you would save me, so you should understand why I'm trying to save
them. And I think she's not wrong. That's the right instinct, to try to save as many people as you can, and the human instinct, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it shows that she is still partially human. Although she cares about her friends more clearly than the other humans, maybe, but
and her brother doesn't know the Xenomorph is part of the family as well.
Yeah, he hasn't found that out yet. No, he's
Xenomorph's sick brother.
Yeah, he's the new brother. It's the new brother. But yeah, she agrees that she tells him that they got to try to get the other kids, which I find interesting that she goes and finds Nibs and Curly, but she never actually looks for, I mean, I knew she wouldn't find them, but they never actually showed her looking for Slightly and Smee. And I felt like there was going to be some kind of scene where at least she tried to find them, but they never even mentioned it. It felt like
no time.
Yeah, I think Joe's rushing her out the door, right? I mean, Joe's
so I guess she's like, I got to stop and look for them as long as they're in their rooms.
Did she look? I was wondering.
I'm sorry. Scarlett. No, I'm sorry. You go, Scarlett.
Just that when she looked at the monitor, maybe she was looking at also like when she let the Xenomorph out, maybe she was looking around to see if she could sense them.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe she knew they weren't nearby. That's a good.
Because she does have that skill set.
Yeah. I was going to say something similar, like if their trackers were turned on, she could find out where they were right away, right?
Yeah, so I guess the only ones she knew where they were at were Nibs and Curly. But she does go in to find them, and Nibs is still freaking out. And Curly's like, you upset her. And she's like, I didn't do it. They erased her memory.
Yeah, it was dumb. Why wouldn't they just tell Wendy not to do that? They're blaming her.
Curly just hates Wendy, right? This is like schoolyard jealousy, mean girl shit going down.
I want to see more Curly. I feel like kind of like we didn't get enough Curly in these last couple episodes.
Yeah, I would like to see it too. I like this. T. Ocellus, CC Lamb, Sheep Octopus, Octopus Prime. Sorry, Octopus, not Octopus. Octopus Prime, Ocellus Prime. It's got a lot of names there.
Names. Got all the names.
They're all great. But either way, Curly is automatically blaming Wendy. She's like, they took her memories, and Nibs doesn't admit that they did. She can't understand that they did. She's clearly not all with it. And Curly's like, she says to Curly, this isn't because she says something about her brother, and then it started when her brother was there or something. And she's like, it's not his fault. And she's like, no, it's your fault. Which it's not Wendy's fault, but she's blaming her for everything because she, like you said, she really does not like Wendy.
She says like, it started when you made us get your brother. Yeah. Like she's not wrong. Joe didn't just show up out of the blue. Wendy is responsible for Joe being there, but it's not Joe's fault, and it's not like what happened is not. No, it's not. But these are like schoolyard 10 and 12-year-olds, right? Like, So Nibs, what's going on with Nibs? It's like she's having an emotional breakdown,
like
a
she's
psychological breakdown. But
pregnant.
But is it possible for, like, is that possible, or is it just like a malfunction in her positronic? Okay, she doesn't have a positronic brain. That's what Data has in Star Trek. But, in her, like, computer brain. Like, is it organic? Is it inorganic? What's going on with her? But she's definitely breaking down.
Yeah, I don't know. I took it as like a mental breakdown because that's why I said she's like regressing and acting more childlike in these scenes.
It is a mental. It is like a mental breakdown, except I'm not sure it's possible for her to have a mental breakdown, right? But
I don't know. Has had some kind of mental.
Or should I think of it as a degradation of her program or something? Now, I'm very anti-robot today because my boss is making us have AI training. I had to go to all this AI training today, and people in the meeting were like, "Hello, AI, could you please help me with blah, blah, blah? Thank you." And I was like, "Oh my God, you thanked it. It's going to take over and kill you someday." And you just said, "Please and thank you." And everyone is talking in the office.
You have to treat him horribly. Yell at them. Hit robots, everyone.
Like, it doesn't understand.
Robot.
You don't have to do that.
So today
I tip over the robot, the inventory robot at my grocery store all the time. Just tip Tally right over.
Oh, we have one of those. It creeps me out every time I.
I just kick it all the time. Just kick as hard as I can.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people forget, though, how often you use AI in everyday life that you're using anyway. Like,
that's just what AI would say, Jamie.
I don't have to say please and thank you.
No, I don't. That's what I said. I don't think you need to say please and thank you, but that's.
In fact, I read an article today where that guy Sam Altman said, like, people saying please and thank you cost him like $10 million a week in terms of the amount of, like, it adds up the microsecond that you take saying it across how many people a day say it. Like, it costs him $10 million a week.
Yeah.
Like, please and thank you.
Everybody just be rude to each other. Then.
Yes. No, let's say please and thank you so we can cost Sam Altman money.
Yeah, that's
funny. Oh, by the way, Jamie, I was hoping that maybe eventually, but you probably won't want to, make me an animated Mr. Strawberry.
Oh, if you can get a good picture of it, I can try.
I love Mr. Strawberry.
With fire coming out of his butt like the Xenomorph.
Hey, I told you, I tried to make a rainbow cloud coming out of the Xenomorph's butt. I was sad it wasn't.
Maybe you can make him holding Mr. Strawberry.
I know he's standing in front of the light. It's not fire, but
he had beans for dinner.
Yeah, he had.
Anyway,
I still like the one I had where he goes, no, I didn't put it in.
Yeah, I like that one
with this, but it was so funny because he's like, don't do that.
Hey, Jamie, I hadn't previously noticed these things on the wall. Is that coloring? The kids have been coloring?
Yeah. It looks like paper art and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like paper art of like flowers or something.
Yeah.
It looks very floral to me, but yeah, it looks like some kind of artwork.
And it's she's in her brown and orange phase there with her coloring.
Yeah.
Anyway, to match her hair, to match Nibs' hair.
Maybe.
Is there like a fox on the table or something? There's like a origami fox.
Yeah, it looks like a little kind of a fox there.
Yeah.
So the one kid had a white tiger in her room, and she has a fox on her table. So
yeah, and Wendy had, what was it Wendy had that she collected? I don't remember. It was a different animal, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Wendy has a lot of stuffed animals on her bed.
I just wonder if they each have an animal represented.
Yeah, because I thought she took one off the shelf and she was showing people because it was an animal that she liked, like a bird or something.
Yeah, an owl or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that did remind me, I was going to say to you guys earlier, I know I had said it in the chat. I had a white tiger, almost exactly like the one that he had, like a stuffed white tiger I bought somewhere, I don't know, a long time ago. I just remember having Oh, I always liked white tigers. I always thought they were so pretty.
Yeah, that kid was in a movie called White Tiger as well. That actor that plays
that might have been a joke then.
It might be a little, yeah.
So coming back to Nibs and what's going on in this scene, Bill says, I'm glad the real Nibs is coming out and starting the show. They better not let Nibs die. And we talked last week about, Dr. Sylvia mentions that Nibs has real trauma in her past and that they're trying to we talked about them trying to skim over it and not deal with it, right? Psycho Nibs, the only kid behaving normally considering the circumstances.
He's not
Fair,
wrong.
fair assessment, I think, right? She's like, with all the scary shit and monsters and everything, she's the kid who's like completely losing it, which is maybe a normal child should be terrified, right?
She doesn't want the bugs to get inside her and make her a ghost.
Yeah, that was not
like meaning like maggots that eat your body, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what she meant by that statement. She says where to go. We're all gonna die here, and bugs will crawl in, and we'll all be ghosts. So yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that I do have a little bit of an issue with on this show is Wendy doesn't always seem like a kid, and she's the lead and kind of needs to be. But at the same time, I feel like maybe if they made her too young, it wouldn't work for the show because she is like the main character. I don't know. But she's not as young as they are, that's for sure.
I thought they made her first because of that, so she would lead the other ones.
It has been several episodes since her mannerisms were that of a child. I'm thinking of like a couple episodes ago when she was taking the hearing test and she was spinning around in the chair and slouching down, right? And that was childlike. But she acts
like a teenager.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think maybe towards the end of the episode, some of her actions are those of a child. But her manner, she presents least like a child of all these actors, and maybe Curly next. The childlike quality is not there with her lately. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, they could evolve pretty quickly, though. I mean, you don't know how fast a hybrid's brain.
Well, they don't evolve at all. They're giving them fake hormones, right, to simulate puberty. So yeah, they could be zipping them through it faster than like.
Well, I think also their intellect, how fast their intellect goes.
Which would be great. Like the couple year slog through puberty and adolescence was a nightmare for all of us. And if you could have done it in a week, I think we'd all sign up for that, right?
But at any rate, the other ones don't seem to have aged up as much as quickly.
Yeah.
As she has. So
I'm not sure if that's bad acting, bad direction, or intentional. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of wonder if it would make it not work just because she's the one that we're kind of seeing through her eyes. And I wonder if it would be too silly.
Again, I think they made Wendy like the leader type that would lead them. And I think Curly is just, I mean, girls mature faster than boys.
They do.
But I mean, they also are not all the same age. Some are 10, some are 11, some are 12, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I also think, I'm not sure, Jamie, that I agree that we're seeing this through Wendy's eyes. I feel like we're seeing Wendy through Joe's eyes. And he remembers a little sister, and there's 10 ways to Sunday that she's not that little sister, right? Including not being childlike.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
But
let's see. Yeah. Well, either way, the boys definitely seem younger.
But again, I'm not sure if that's just acting and direction.
But yeah, I don't know.
Plus, I think Nibs might have gotten some ocular cells in her.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely acting. Jonathan Ajayi, definitely it's acting. He's incredible at playing yeah.
I mean, plus the boys get to interact more with each other, like on a playful level.
Yeah.
The girls have been kind of isolated from each other. Not really in this scene because
we don't have a lot of scenes with the other kids. We see these two boys together constantly, and we see Wendy mostly talking to adults, and we see Nibs mostly talking to adults, and we see Curly not that much at all.
Yeah,
that's true. Either way, Curly is quick, or not Curly, sorry. Nibs is quick to be like, we're not safe, we got to go. So she agrees to come, but Curly will not go. She's like, this is the best place I've ever been. And Wendy is like, doesn't force her, but she's like, but you got to promise you're not going to tell anybody on us. I was actually kind of surprised she didn't, that she listened and she kept the promise.
But she was the one in the wheelchair, right? She had a lot more going on.
Oh, she was the one in the wheelchair when she was brought in to be changed.
Yeah. So just being able to walk and just being in here, even though she's a slave to the corporation,
Yeah,
might
maybe
be
she's
a
afraid
good
if
deal for her.
she won't be able to walk.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Now that's a childlike moment, I think, being like, you have to promise not to tell on us.
Pinky
And-
promise.
And Curly says, I promise. And she keeps the promise, at least through this episode, right?
Yeah.
But that's like, children hold that. Like, how many times do adults make promises that they break? Okay, for every politician ever, every word out of their mouth is a broken promise, right? And tons of adults in our lives, and we've broken promises also, or we said we won't tell, and then we tell, because especially in this situation, like, maybe the right thing to do would be to tell from Wendy's perspective, right? But a child extracts that promise and a child keeps that promise. They have a different. I kind of liked it. It was a little bit of a, I don't know, in a way more optimistic and a more pure moment.
Pure, yeah. That's what I was going to say. Pure.
Pure,
Yeah.
you're gonna say pure, yeah.
Yeah.
And which are the most purest species of all? The Xenomorphs.
You're right. She does.
And then the
she does,
hybrids.
at least so far, keep it and agrees to stay. So then
I
this is
keep
where
my
she-
promises.
This is where she lets the xenomorph out. I figured right away that's what she was doing, but they did show us. But I thought Joe realized that
This was hard to see, depending upon what device you're
Mhm.
watching on, the size of your screen, how close you're watching. We have a perfect picture of it right here that we're looking at.
Yeah.
But it was hard to see, and I think it is not supposed to be that obvious. I think the point is that here's the clue, but that most viewers were surprised by what happened, and that's maybe the point, right?
Mhm.
Right.
I
Well,
watch it big. I
closely.
watch it big on my television so I can see everything.
Well, it
Yeah.
shows immediately after it the red light,
Mhm.
and it's there at the
Yeah.
cage,
And it's
There you
curvy.
That's where you see it.
and then you
I
see the
watched
people being killed.
I watched it tonight on a 14-inch laptop. At home, I watch on a 55-inch television. So to your
Same.
point, Scarlett, that's why Scarlett caught on. And
Don't ever watch it on a device that's 14 inches.
Well, Well, my 94-year-old father doesn't have a smart TV, so
Damn, you should get him one.
yeah.
Yawning.
Anyway, so you see this moment where the red light changes, and you're like, "Ooh!"
Mhm. And it's kind of swirly too.
It's
got the
kind of
yeah.
swirl vision.
Yeah, it's weird the way she affects the TV. It's like it's connected to the electronics, but yeah, it does seem like she actually is moving the signal around.
It's also a nice visual, so people know what she's doing.
Yeah,
Well,
it
we've
looks
seen-
good.
We've seen her do this since maybe episode 1 or 2, and we've seen no one else do it. The other kids either can't do it or just haven't figured it out yet, right?
Ooh, they
Yeah.
figured it out. It'll be
Like
interesting.
we saw Wendy do this in episode 1, where she gets the computer to deny Joe's application to medical school, right?
Mhm.
It's a medical school, and she has this,
Yeah.
she does this, and the robot denies it. We haven't seen anybody else do this. Kirsch hasn't done it. The other kids haven't done it. Doesn't mean they can't
Mhm.
eventually, but Wendy's the only one who can do it right now, right?
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Curly or somebody put her hand on a screen and she'd be like, "Oh, what can I do here?"
I like how it looks a little bit like if I were to put my finger on my laptop right now and press on the screen, you do get a little bit of a not
Oh,
quite the same swirl, but you do get a pressure thing. That's why you're not supposed to touch your
no.
non-
I can't do it on my iPad. It's
Yeah,
disappointing.
you can't do it on a device that's made to do it.
a
but
touch
yeah,
screen. Yeah, but on a non-touch screen, you get a little bit of a
Yeah.
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 But I do also
You touch
agree
your
with
television.
I do also though agree with what Scarlett said. I think it's also just like kind of a visual thing for us to help us understand.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yes,
It
yeah.
explains what's going on.
Yeah.
And here's
then-
Jane pining for her husband, Arthur.
Yeah. Not realizing anything that happened.
He's only been
Because he
gone.
just got on transport.
Yeah, I know. And they come down and they're like telling her what's going on, thinks that she helped them turn the trackers off. And they're like, we saw him on the video, and she really is like, I didn't know anything about it, and she really clearly didn't. She didn't know anything.
Mhm.
And she's going to end up, in the middle of it. So then, this is the scene I love this part. I thought was so funny when they're dragging out Arthur, and Kirsch comes to him, and I guess I don't have a picture of Kirsch, just of them. But that when they're pulling him out and Kirsch stops him and then says, "What are you doing?" And like he starts trying to, come up with an excuse, and he's like, "Well, the man made me do it." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I meant, why are you going that way?" I like why he said it, but I liked it.
I like how they set up the scene at first where he walked past it and the kids, I'm going to call them the kids, they thought they got away with something, but he had seen it, but it was a little freak out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good cinematography is what I'm saying.
Yes, it is. But I loved when he, the kind of joke where he's like, "No, but you're going the wrong way."
Yeah.
I didn't know why. I still didn't understand why he's not stopping them. But I enjoyed that
for the lulz.
Yeah, for the lulz. But I enjoyed that the way they did it. I thought it was funny and I liked how it was done. So they think they're getting away with it, and they are for right now. So then we go outside and they see the graves. Now this, I know earlier we were having some differing of opinions in the chat about who Wendy's talking to when which, by the way, Nib's name was Rose Ellis. I wrote that down before too. But this is where Wendy says, "It's not us, we're still here." Now, we had a discussion. Was she talking to Nibs? Was she talking to Joe? Was she trying to make herself feel that that's true? Was it all three? I automatically assumed she was talking to Nibs, but then listening to you, Karen, and Misha, I was kind of like, well, those things make sense too. So I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, there's a level at which she is talking to Nib. I mean, Misha made that was like, I think it was Misha making the point like, she's talking to Nibs. She's reassuring Nibs. And I just thought there was maybe multiple levels of context to what she was saying.
Yeah, I just got a face.
Well, I think they're addressing that's their bodies.
Yeah.
What makes a human? Is it a body? Is it a mind? What is it? But their bodies are there.
Right.
I don't know. And with where Wendy is going, can you say it's the same mind even, right? Like does Marcy even exist anymore?
Yeah.
But I thought,
is there a consciousness or a soul or something that exists that makes people individuals that you can't just recreate in a lab?
I really thought Wendy was making like kind of reassuring Joe a little bit, because we see Joe lean over and clear the dead flowers off Marcy's grave, and I felt like Joe really, I mean, okay, Marcy's body really is in there, right? And I just felt like Joe really saw that as his dead sister's grave, and that was Marcy like reminding him a little bit like, that was just a body, that's not me, I'm here.
Yeah, but I think it's getting more on the side of the humans. Slowly.
Samuel says it's a new being in my opinion. And it also makes me think of when we're talking about like, is it the same person? Do they need that soul? And that it kind of reminds me of it made me think about it as we're talking about this now. Do you remember that conversation with Karen with the 12th Doctor when he's talking to I think he's called Two-Faced Man, I think, about the clockwork aliens, when he's having that conversation, like, if you have a mop and you replace the handle and then you replace this and eventually like you replace every piece of it, is it still the same mop?
Yeah.
And I know that that's more of kind of partially a joke in the show, but it does make me wonder that. And I know that is a big theme of the show, is like, what part does make you human, and do they have a soul? Have they copied their minds? I mean, we really just don't know, because they haven't really explained a lot of that.
I don't know that I see the soul in the sense of like a religious idea of having a soul. I don't know that I see that as part of the show, but
I didn't mean in a religious context.
No, I didn't either.
A piece of consciousness.
If I could just finish what I was saying, I think you mean the soul in the sense of like that innate thing we don't know what it is that makes you a human being, right?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And plus, if they do take that consciousness and they clone it, does that consciousness, if there is a consciousness or a soul, I'll just say, that's how I'm defining it. Do they have two consciousnesses at the same time if they're cloned?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is it the same person's feelings at the same time, or do you feel it? Both of you feel it, or is it a hive mind?
A lot of existential questions here that we don't have the answer.
But
those are dead bodies there, I'm going to tell you, in the cemetery.
They're all there. I mean, at any rate, in the sense of Nibs being like, that's me, I'm not, and Wendy says, no, that's not us, we're still here. And I'm like, oh, what level is that? And then boom, Nibs says, I don't think I am anymore. Whoa, right? Like
she's been denying it all along, and now she seems to think maybe something's missing.
Hybrid existential crisis.
Yep.
These are nice, though. I mean, they didn't have to bury the bodies here. Was this for the parents that they killed, or what is this for?
The parents who can never visit their child's grave.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of wondered why they buried him there. Unless maybe like Arthur and Dame did, maybe.
Slightly's mother believes he's dead, and where does she visit a fake grave where he really isn't? I mean, I believe these are the real graves because I believe this is the island is where the procedure took place, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's proof of business. Maybe like we took these bodies and we put them into this, and here's their bodies.
So Misha says, I was surprised they didn't just burn the bodies. I agree with you. I think maybe Arthur and Dame would have insisted on this. Boy Cavalier would not have buried them. Dame and Arthur maybe would have because
they got to know them as people before they transfer them over too.
And they're the moral. If there's a moral center of this operation, as tiny as it is, it's these two, right? Like they really thought they were doing something good, I think, when they got involved with it. Big dummies that they are.
The parents.
Yeah.
Because they can't have their own kids, if you remember that.
Yeah. They can't. My watch is dying. Yeah. But it is interesting because you're right, like who sees the graves. So I do think that they did it. Bill, as I said, existential questions, Bill. Dualism and idealism. These schools of thought suggest that consciousness is either a non-physical substance distinct from the body or that the entire material world was created by consciousness. Yeah, there's a lot of questions there.
The 8 grams question, because it supposedly weighs 8 grams, a human soul.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I don't know. They're so that's the one thing I do kind of wish that they would go into more, and I guess they probably won't. But like, is it really them, and are we supposed to believe it's really them, or is it just that's the whole point, and you have to make your own decision, which may also be the case. But
yeah,
at any rate, they are headed to the boat, and
we go cut back. Yeah, these guys are going out of this boat at Joe's lake. Joe is like, he's almost like he's not frantic yet, but he's getting there, right?
Yeah, he wants them to hurry and get there. So they're headed that way. But then meanwhile, Smee and Slightly hear the soldiers coming. So they put down Arthur for a minute. And then they turn around when they come back, and Arthur's suddenly gone. And they're left with this face hugger thing. And I forget which one of them. One of them smashes it, I think, slightly. Now let me ask you guys. Yeah, it falls off them. But let me ask you guys a question because I don't remember. Can it only implant like one person? Is it like done?
Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
That's why it was so easy for them to like kind of toss.
It was going to die anyway, but
okay, that's what
It's a vessel.
Okay, that's what I was trying to remember. All right, so yeah, the face hugger has come off. They can't find Arthur, and then he suddenly shows up, and he's
that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, he's really, really out of it. He's spacey. He looks like he's high there. If you look at his eyes, he just looks like really kind of not sure what's going on.
He's had a face hugger. So I read an interview today. If you guys have a chance, I read an interview. TV Insider has an interview with David Rysdahl, who plays Arthur, and he talked all about filming the scene. And he said that in filming, he spent a total of 6 hours with the face hugger on his face.
God.
Oh my God. That would be so awful. That would be so claustrophobic and awful to do. I don't know if I could do that.
So he said when it was time to shoot this, that he really was able to get in touch with the experience of having the face hugger on you, not down your esophagus. But
wait. You don't mean that it took 6 hours to shoot then. You mean that he put it on for 6 hours to feel
No, like they spent a total time that they spent shooting, like not
Okay.
maybe 6 hours straight, but maybe over
Okay, I
multiple
see.
days.
Mhm.
He spent a total of 6 hours with the face hugger on him, shooting these scenes over a period of time. He also in the interview mentions that the boys were carrying him around for 2 weeks. So I guess it took 2 weeks maybe to shoot this entire sequence, right?
Yeah.
But he says like he's like, I spent 6 hours with that face hugger on me, and so when I took it off, like he was able to like maybe get that dazed and confused kind of like thing, like came a little bit more naturally because he'd had that on him the entire time, right? He also talks in this interview about the drama of all this comes from, we all know that the chest burster is coming, right? But nobody in the scene does. Arthur probably doesn't, and the kids don't. And the tension is coming from like, we know what's happening. The 2 9-year-old boys don't know. It's a pretty lengthy, good interview. And while I would always prefer that we read Sci-Fi Vision whenever possible, I read this on. I want to give credit to TV Insider for having this kind of really long and pretty good interview that is worth a read, you guys.
Yeah, the Alien Earth podcast, the FX one's pretty good too. I also had an interview with Arthur, the guy who plays Arthur. Yeah, I just wonder how did he just fall, because he's standing up. Did he just fall down straight from the trees, and then the landing made the face hugger come off?
Well, I think they were
because he's just like
dragging
standing. He's not
Well,
like
the face hugger
falling
lets
down.
go of you as soon as it implants its little thingy, right? Like we've seen.
I think he stood up probably.
We've seen
He
other
But it
people
looked like
stand
it
up and
dropped from
walk around.
above, though, and then he was just standing there.
I mean,
he was on the ground. They were dragging him. I remember.
Okay,
and then
but Scarlett's not wrong. They put him down, they hide, and it's only like 100 seconds later that they're like, "Wait, where'd he go?" And he's gotten up and walked away.
Yeah, but the face hugger falls from the sky, though.
It does. You're right. It does appear to fall from like
height.
Does it fall off Arthur's head? And is he taller than we thought he was? Like, yeah.
I didn't
Or they were just like recruited up in the branches because they saw the soldiers, and the face hugger was like, "No," and then just kind of jumped down. And
we just needed a good jump scare there, and we got it. I guess.
Yeah, that seems like otherwise a mistake. But either way, I'm kind of surprised he doesn't remember anything. Like, I know that he doesn't remember the face hugger, but the last thing he had seen was finding out that Isaac was killed, and he doesn't remember anything of that because he said that he knew that Isaac's tracker was off or something like that. I forget exactly what he says, and that he went to go after to find him. So he doesn't actually remember finding Isaac either.
Well, we've never seen. I mean, we've never seen people wake up and like we've seen people wake up and they also act normal. And this goes back to Misha's comment very early in tonight's conversation about how in Alien they thought Kane would be fine, right? Like the face hugger gets off him, and then he comes to dinner. It bursts out of his chest at like dinner or lunch or whatever, right? And they're all like, "Wow, he woke up and he's fine." Like this is they wake up and they act normal. And yeah, we didn't see Kane disoriented, but we also didn't see him be like, "Holy shit, there was a face hugger on me," right?
Right. But I guess I'm saying he lost more time though than just the face hugger on him was my point, because he doesn't remember what happened. But yeah, you're right.
Wait, he lost more time? He didn't lose more time.
Because when this happened, he had already found Isaac's body when all this went down, remember?
Because I think he barely found it because that face hugger came out of nowhere and just ran up to him.
Yeah, he goes in and
he looks for like a second, and then that thing is like, oh no.
No, because he was already trying to pull him out of the room because he asked Slightly to help him and he wouldn't help him. And like Slightly locked him in the room. That was all before the face hugger jumped on his face. So there must be like
I think the trauma would maybe scramble your memory. And maybe there's some oxygen deprivation and some other kinds of like.
And who knows what chemicals that a face hugger has that is injecting in there.
Yeah, no, I can buy that. I'm just saying it wasn't like he remembers what immediately happened.
I mean, isn't it common that people who get in a car crash don't remember the crash at all? They just remember like from 5 minutes before or whatever. Like, I think trauma, physical trauma, and if he was at all like sentient, like if that thing's on your face and you're like, let me out, right? That could be very traumatizing also, right? It's like my action, let me out. But Like,
Yeah, no, I get that.
I can buy that he'd be really dazed and not able to really recall what had been happening.
Well, I mean, the face hugger probably took some kind of calming thing in there just to have the host be calm and accept the, creature.
We don't ever see a host like try to rip it off your face. Like, as soon as it gets on you, you just like lay there. Like, no one's ever like, get right? Yeah. Except for maybe in the initial 2
maybe
seconds.
It feels good. Like some endorphins. Release some endorphins in there, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either
Good
way,
times.
he doesn't remember any of it. And they keep telling him, oh, we're taking you down to the beach to see your wife. We're evacuating. There was contamination. I don't know. They make up all kinds of stuff. And that confusion is a side effect of what happened. And he thanks them. But then after a couple minutes, he seems to start losing a little bit of the dazedness. And he says that he knows they're lying because he says children have to learn how to lie. And he says, whatever happened, we can figure it out. Yeah. Or he's like, whatever happened, we can figure it out together. Let's go take care of it. You tell me what you need, what went wrong, and I'll help you. So even after all this, he's just kind of like, let's go figure it out together. And they kind of hold his hands and they're like going back. So I think they were going to tell him, the truth. And
I love this. Yeah. I loved that he sees through them because they're terrible liars. As we're watching this, we're all like, you guys are the worst liars ever. And, one thing about lying is that you should keep it simple. The more information you give, the more your lie starts to fall apart, right? And these two are like little kids. Like,
as somebody who teaches small children, they only learn to lie at a certain age. They'll lie, but they're honest about their lying because they'll say, did you do this? Oh, yeah, I did. They can't lie.
And I've seen little kids like not learn to lie until
or they're like, no, I didn't do it. And they're like,
unless you tell them, you ask them if they did, then they say they do, even though they said.
And then when they learn, 5 seconds ago. When they start to lie, they're not effective. Like, I've seen a 4-year-old try to blame an infant. Like, who took all these things out of the drawer? Oh, the baby did it. Well, the baby did it, right? They start to lie like preposterously. It takes a really long time for a kid to be able to put together a believable lie. Yeah.
But then if you ask them a question, they'll say they'll be honest.
And you teach, Scarlett, I don't know how old your kids are, but they're pretty little, right?
5, 6.
So you teach kids who are just learning how to lie, maybe?
I don't teach them how to lie.
No, I'm saying, but they're learning in life, or they haven't learned yet how to lie, or they're not liars yet.
Oh, there's some kids that by 5 or 6 are pretty manipulative. It probably comes from the parents, but
I think I read once, like, it's like 3 or 4 when kids like really start to lie, but their lies are crazy because they don't. But these kids, I mean,
well, they're saying they lie, but then you ask them if they did it, then they'll say yes because they can't not lie when addressed by a question.
Yeah. And these two, I mean, I did love this whole sequence with these two, Slightly and Smee. They play it very young. They're very childless. And their lying is terrible. They're so obviously lying. It's only because Arthur is like dazed that he can't. They're like, oh, there was a gas leak. Oh, there was they don't say radiation, but they're, your wife is waiting for us. Let's go there. It's terrible. It's ridiculous lying. But you know what? I love that Arthur, like, he's such a good dad. Like, he's like, you know what, you guys, it's okay. It's okay that you lied. We're going to go and we're going to figure it out. It's juxtaposed in the later scene where Morrow is like, you know what adults do when they lie? They own it.
Yeah.
And they admit it. Whereas Arthur's like, oh, you guys lied. It's okay. Let's go back. Let's talk about it. Let's be.
Because he knows child psychology better than these other people do.
Apparently, yes. He's a way better father if Morrow represents a father. I mean, he was a father. So look at how great this little shot is of them holding hands. It's so sweet, right?
Yeah.
It is nice.
Figured out. And that lasts all of like, maybe 20 seconds. And then the chest burster. And poor Smee. Now, at this point, Smee's like, you lied to me. You said he was going to be fine. And then he's like, no, Morrow lied to me, and that's why I said, I think, Slightly believed Morrow too. I don't think Slightly lied to me, Smee.
Oh, I think Slightly believed Morrow, sure. What Slightly says, he's going to, Morrow told him, this guy have a couple bad days and then he'll be fine. And
I mean, a child's optimism. You got to take that into account.
Yeah, but poor poor Smee, he's like really upset, and I do appreciate though that I don't know, slightly like keeps like, we got to fix it, we got to keep going, and I get it, he's worried about his family, but where Smee is like, I can't do this, I don't want to do this, and he's like starting to really freak out at this point. So yeah, Arthur should have just left. Yeah.
His mistake was trying to help Joe. He should have gotten on that transport and got off that island, right?
Mm-hmm.
His compassion was his mistake.
Yeah, well, it was because it delayed him, because it cost him time where he could have been off this island.
That's why I say you don't put children into synthetic bodies because of their id, and then also people will come and help them because they're children.
Yeah.
Who thought this idea up?
It's like we didn't know what to expect, so no lie. Yeah. That's what I said. I just was questioning when I first saw it, like, did he really believe it? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, because he's a kid. Of course he believed it.
He believes it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Yeah, and he also doesn't want to believe something bad's going to happen because
he doesn't want his mom to die.
Yeah, and he cares about his mother. Like, I understand it.
Well, he cares about people. He doesn't want to kill Arthur. He doesn't want to kill, anyone. And Arthur was his second choice. He might have not felt as bad about killing Joe, who was his first.
He didn't mind so much about Joe, right?
But that scene was incredible. Also, every part of that sequence, we commented, Scarlett, when we were in the watch party earlier, about how David Ajaya, like Jonathan Ajaya, I'm sorry, even his this is not maybe the best, but his facial expressions are childlike. Like his face looks like a little kid's reactions. Their work is, both of them, their work is incredible in this. Emmy, please, for this guy.
Yeah, he's really good. Really good.
Hopefully, Emmy.
Yeah. So then we go.
It's like from the Yellow Jackets to get any nominations. I'm gonna say not better.
Here's Curly. Here's Curly coming. Oh, look, Sylvia doesn't look too. Dame Sylvia.
Yeah, she don't look so good.
That shot, right?
Yeah, she's upset. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't know yet what's happened to her husband. She knows that her husband
got fired and sent away. So that's shitty.
She knows that her husband turned off the trackers, and she's probably thinking, what is it going to happen to him? And that's probably part of the issue here of why she's upset. But Curly comes to see her and tells her she's scared. She calls her mom. She doesn't know what's wrong, but she's upset. She says something like everything's hard, and she hugs her and talks to her and tries to comfort her. And that's really the first time I think we've seen Curly act more childlike.
So what do you guys think? I want to hear from both Jamie and Scarlett, but also everybody in the chat, when Curly calls Dame Mom. Mm-hmm. And I actually, for a minute, like, did she say ma'am? Because that Australian accent comes out like mom. And then I put on the captions and it's mom. She calls her mom.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I think probably she sees her as her mother because that's, the only figure that's there right now. She's come to think of her like her mother. But she could have also been saying she missed her mother too. I could see it going either way.
I totally see both Dame Sylvia and Arthur as mom and dad to them for probably a longer period of time, like a long period of time when they were sick.
I want my mommy and she's my mommy right now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, she's the mom she's got.
You do kind of wonder though that they never like, I don't know. I kind of expect like it might have made sense a little bit if sometimes they were like missing their parents, which they don't really show in the show, but it may just be more of like a time thing. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to belabor it too much. I don't know.
So Bill Chill, I want to bring this up. Is this Dame's actual daughter? I don't know how to take that. I heard Curly clearly call Dame mom. So I felt the same thing. We talked about this, Bill Chill, in the watch party. I said, could this be her daughter? Like, was their daughter dying, and that's why they got into this? And then Jamie reminded me, say it, Jamie, earlier. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because they had wanted to have children and they couldn't. Mm-hmm. They made that point earlier in the season.
They mentioned that in an early episode, right?
Yeah, so it's definitely not her real daughter, but
but you can have a mom, found family, man.
Yeah, but it's not. So that idea that I also had like, oh, did they put their own child in the program? No, they wanted to have children, they couldn't. That maybe is what drew them to this.
And that's why they feel like it's.
I think is it Arthur who says it early in this season?
Remember.
One of them says it. We wanted to have kids, they couldn't.
Yeah.
But I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing that had to be reminded. Misha, this has all been like 1 week, 2 weeks max. Yeah. So I don't know how long it's been since they were created, but it's been 1 or 2 weeks max since the ship crashed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know really about the time frame on this one. Some people say the time frame's longer than what I think it is.
I think it's 1 or 2 weeks since.
I think it's pretty short. Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been since the children were created.
Yeah, I think that there was like a period between them being created and the ship crashing. I think they just
like in the beginning when Wendy was up on the rocks and jumped down or something.
Yeah.
Some time.
I also love to take. So Bill says, okay, so Dame has raised her like she was her own daughter, and Misha says, no, they didn't raise these kids. They didn't, in the sense that these kids were raised by their own parents. They were dying of various diseases, and so they were put into these synth bodies. So they were raised by their parents. But I would say that Dame has been
their
raised
surrogate mother since
if
then.
they're being, if anyone's raising them since they've turned, it's Dame, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dame and Arthur. Yeah.
Bill still thinks it's been months.
See, I've heard in other videos too, like it's been 2 years, and I'm like, how has it been 2 years?
Well, it's definitely been, like we said, it's been some time, I think, since they were transferred into the bodies, but I think it's only been a couple weeks.
Well, it's because they made that reference in Peter Pan being 2.
Yeah, they did say
and 2 is when things happen to you, and 2 is the age, and I'm like, but I didn't get that vibe. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months.
I mean, if it's been 2 years, that would be like you get the sense that Dame has raised her and raised all of them. Like if she's been with them for 2 years and she's the real emotional support, and maybe Arthur to some extent also, right? But they have no emotional support except her. If it's been 2 years, then I would really get that this bond makes a lot of sense between these two.
And it could be.
Yeah. I'm curious about that. All right, so
but see, Misha has a totally different idea. Misha thinks it's been 2 weeks since they got transferred. I love it. I love that we can all watch this show and have totally different ideas. And I'm like, Bill, that makes sense totally. And now I'm like, Misha, wait, that makes sense totally also, right?
And they can let people have their opinions because they don't have to put the narration over it, telling you exactly every detail every day and all that. Yeah.
I mean, I would say
I'd like to talk to Noah Hawley and ask him, but I can't. So
I'm going to say to Misha, the idea that it hasn't been that long and she's thinking 2 weeks, it makes sense that things are going wrong and they're really not that good at dealing with these kids and don't know what the hell's going on, right? Like if it had been 2 years, they might not be having so many problems. Remember Joe and Marcy's ages. How old was Joe in the flashback?
I don't know. To me, he looked like an adult in the flashback and an adult.
Yeah.
Which flashback when they were watching Ice Age?
Marcy's 11.5, Joe is 45 or 50.
I don't think he's quite that old, but
I love it.
I don't think he's not that old.
He does look old, but maybe not that old. I love it that we can think it's 2 years, it's 2 weeks, and they both make sense to me in different ways.
Yeah. All right. So then they are, meanwhile, still pulling poor Arthur's body along.
Because Slightly thinks he needs to deliver the body. He doesn't.
Good enough.
He doesn't get that it's the monster.
Well, I think I don't know. He looked for the monster when it jumped out. So the alien. So I think he knows. I think he just is hoping it's enough.
I guess
maybe it's enough evidence that they did something.
Morrow said like he wanted a person. Yeah.
I love he was looking for it. When it first jumped out, he's like, "Where is it? Where is it?" So he was definitely looking for it.
Maybe it's enough to keep his mom alive.
Yeah,
I love the shot through the cave. It reminded me a little bit of Dr. No. It's a Dr. No. Ursula Andress comes out in the bikini out of the water, but also
Morrow's not coming out in the bikini.
It also reminded me of The Rock, where they all come out of the water. It was great.
Yeah, but this is a case that everybody needs to hurry a lot faster in this episode. He needed to hurry a little faster.
Was I the only person that was surprised that Mara showed up with a full strike force? I kind of
No,
thought
it wasn't, but I thought he'd show up about 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I knew he was coming, but I didn't know how he was going to get there. And the fact that they
I thought he might come alone or in a more stealthy manner.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's got that WY people behind him, that money.
I know. I just thought that this was a stealth operation, and when he shows up with 20 soldiers.
No, I agree with that. I mean, I expected more to show up, but yes, I expected it to be more stealthy. But the fact that they came scuba diving clearly shows there isn't a lot of ways onto this island, if they can't get on the boat. So I thought that was interesting how they got there.
Can I take Misha's comment because she put the greatest word ever? At some point, they're supposed to give the kids puberification, so somehow their thought decision process can aid. That's
they
true.
were supposed to
puberification.
I love puberification. They were going to
they weren't supposed to emulate it. They said that.
They were given a synthetic hormone to simulate puberification. Love it. You were not surprised. Misha was not surprised Yutani got that strike force, money. I'm not surprised that Yutani has it. For me, I just thought he was being more stealthy, and that was me being dumb.
Yeah, Bill makes a point, though, too. There's not loud,
stealth loud airplanes or boats. They came on a sub,
Yeah, so it's still stealthy.
Here he is, Morrow, the heavy.
He comes in, and he talks to him slightly, and he's like, what did you do? And, he just says it like you screwed it up, and Slightly's like, I did everything you asked. Please don't hurt my mother. I couldn't help it. I tried to find, he's trying to get him to not hurt his mother. And you're right. He said, so you mentioned it earlier. He says something like, quit acting like a kid. Don't you have to own it that he screwed it up?
Well, it would have helped if Mira would have given a little bit more details on this intel.
Yeah, it's Morrow's fault. I feel like for getting there too damn late. He should have said, don't get the body infected until I'm on my way or something like that,
Or the face hugger can fall off anytime between 1 minute and 16 hours after.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gives him he doesn't give him a timeline. So Bill thinks Morrow understands that Slightly did better than expected.
Yeah, he thought he wasn't even going to get that
far. He did tell Mrs. Yutani, granddaughter Yutani, he said to her, this is a co-opted agent or asset. This asset is co-opted and there's a high probability of failure. He says that, right? Two other things happen here, which stuck out to me is when there's a point where Slightly says, you're not going to hurt my mother, are you? And Morrow doesn't answer. He just turns his head and says, let's move, right? He never answers.
Oh, she's already dead.
I thought maybe she's already dead. Part of me thinks she's already dead. Part of me thinks it was maybe an idle threat. I think she's probably dead already.
Well, she would talk.
Yeah, right.
Ask questions.
He's never going to get to see her anyway, so he wouldn't.
He also says into his radio, he says, A target failed, moving to B target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was questioning, what does that mean? Does that mean go after the alien? I wasn't exactly sure what it meant by B target.
I think it's Exomorph is a B target, right?
Who do you think is the B target? Say that again.
Probably the Exomorph. Just going and getting the Exomorph itself.
So you think maybe the infant was the A target and the adult is the B target?
Yep.
Oh, I thought
Universe all the way down.
I thought it meant go find the baby was what I took it as.
Yeah. Yeah. The face hugger was the A target and the baby is the B target, maybe.
Well, they're both babies.
Well,
the littlest baby or the bigger baby, the Allison.
So we have a couple of things going on here. Misha points out, we were saying that Mara should have given slightly better instructions.
Mm-hmm.
She says, now, you all know you can't give an 11, 12-year-old instructions like that. You told them to go to the corner and they end up stuck in a tree 3 blocks over. I mean, she's not wrong, right?
He didn't do what he said. He did exactly what he said.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
But he had no information about what was going on, so
Or
he
how
could make
long
better
it was
decisions.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too that kind of surprised me. Like, I mean, I know that the face hugger can't implant in the hybrids, but I did kind of question, like, the kids could have been killed when the baby alien came out, and like he thought that they'd be okay and wasn't too concerned about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could attack them.
While we're here, I just want to also, Bill said, what do grown-ups do? Morrow asks slightly to grow up in the situation. It's so true. Like Wendy, we talk about Wendy having grown up so much, and these other kids really haven't, and Morrow's asking him to grow up. And I don't think he really can. Like the idea that a kid's gonna, I don't know, Morrow had a daughter who he left when she was 11 and never saw again, right? And yet he doesn't seem to have a real understanding of what he does, in the sense that he gave Slightly very simple instructions, didn't tell him the whole story. He's really been good at dealing with kids. He acted like a child when he was befriending Slightly, right? He knew how to manipulate a child, but in this moment he's like, oh, grow up, which is like the least effective thing my parents ever said to me when I was that age, right?
Yeah. Very true.
Because an adult's not a child. Everyone.
Let's see. Yes, the baby comes from the face hugger after it's implanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, the body with the face hugger was target A, I thought. And that's why I said maybe target B and go find the baby. That was kind of how I looked
I thought target A was that whole thing, the face hugger with the baby. Because I thought they wanted to deliver him with the face hugger still on.
I think they did also. I think
so that would be safest for everyone involved.
He'd be okay after, so I don't know. But yeah, I think they might have.
And then B was just get the big one out of the lab. That didn't really work, but try.
Yeah.
Jamie, I think they don't know how long incubation is. I agree. And I'm not sure incubation is necessarily the same
1 minute to 16 hours.
Right? It's not the same 1 minute to 16 hours.
That's the canon, at least. It's 1 minute to 16 hours. It's kind of a stretch.
That's canon?
Yeah. I watched a video, read in a book.
Yeah. So it could be, it depends what the scene dictates. It could be short, long.
Yeah, if you want them to go to dinner, like a John Hurt kind of thing, and have a little bit of laughs.
You would think that he would realize there's a good chance that it might be born before he gets to them. I mean, it's not too much of a stretch to know that. So
yeah.
Either way, obviously Slightly did do everything he could.
Yeah. I want to talk to Bill here, saying, like, disagreeing, where I was like, oh, don't tell them to grow up. Bill's right. Preteens want to grow up so fast. So he thinks it was clever for Mara to ask Slightly to grow up in that instance there, right?
It worked for Isaac. Growing up.
Yeah.
Making good decisions.
You take the big one, yeah. B could have been the big Xenomorph. We don't know.
But that's to do with that.
Out and see.
Well, whatever the plot dictates, I think in the movies and stuff, you can have them real fast.
Yeah. It depends if they need to be or not. All right. So
depending on your physicality, you could be spitting out something that's part Xenomorph, part human, part Xenomorph, part something else.
So now back to Optimus Prime.
Yep.
Yeah. So he has put the sheep here in a container in his office.
And I think we've mentioned it, but this is where we have the greatest line of the episode. This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the greatest episode was Mr. Strawberry tells you to fuck off or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's great. But this is a bad idea. This is
the whole thing has been a bad idea.
Yeah, and he
I
tells
got a bad feeling about this.
The more you spread out the aliens, the less you can guarantee their containment. But he,
put it in your office.
You can do anything, you don't tell him no. And he's like, I want to talk to it. So yeah, he wants to talk to the sheep, and this is where he shows them pie, which he says, I get his all intelligent life forms know what pi is because it's, based on math and everything in the world. And I get that they've done this before on like, other alien shows, but they wouldn't necessarily know that pi is 3.14 though, because they could know pi in a different way.
You mean like the way that they look at numbers would not be our 3.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like they may understand the concept of pi, but I don't know if they would understand.
But the way they write numbers, if they even write, because you're an octopus, would not be the same. Yeah.
Or conceive of them in general. Yeah.
Yeah. But because they've definitely used this before, and actually they used it in I think in that the episode with the what's it called, Flatline in Doctor Who, when they used pi because they said like that they understood math. I think.
And the golden ratio, I think, might have been in X-Files. I think it might have been in. It might have been in. It's been in
Fringe. It might have been in Fringe.
Maybe maybe Fringe for sure. Definitely Fringe. Maybe 3-body problem. It's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mr. Pi is a constant. I'm just saying, like, I don't know that an alien race would necessarily, like, they would know what pi is, but I don't know that they would see it in human numbers, is what I meant.
Like they wouldn't write the number 3 the way we read the number 3. Like even I think in, like, let's say you were going to write the number 3 in Korean or Chinese or Russian, which don't have the same type of, they different character driven alphabets there.
So I'm saying like they would maybe understand what a circle is, but I don't know that they would understand the number.
Oh, I love it. I love this, Misha. I think he learned how to read and understand English from Shmuel when he took over Shmuel's eyeball and brain. I love it. Yes.
Yeah, one of them said in the chat earlier, I don't remember which, it was either Bill or Misha, I believe, or it might have been Samuel, but said that like they get the Ocellus might get the memories of whatever
creature they like attach.
Yeah, you mean this comment that I saved for later?
I was Samuel. I bet that TSL gains knowledge from every being it takes over when it switches to a new host. I agree. I think that's a good assessment. A good chance that does make sense.
Oh, Samuel, I was just waiting to bring that out. Thank you for saying it.
Yeah, and I do love that he tries to get it to like, he's like, what's the next number? And then he stomps and he's right. He's like, he gives the numbers and then like poop.
I think I would have gone more than 2 numbers myself.
Yeah, and then that's whenever
because 2 numbers could be just a parlor trick with a horse that does math, with the
yeah.
I love that it does that. That it poops right at that moment. It's like 3.1415, and then poop, and it's like it's a fuck you moment, right?
Yeah, it is. I do believe the little alien
instead of stomping, it starts bawing at him like like
yelling. Or maybe he learned from the cat because
could have learned the shit.
The wiliness of the cat.
Either way, it starts bleeding out the numbers too.
Well, I don't know if it's bleeding out the numbers. I thought it was bleeding out
numbers, bleeding out like counting.
I thought it was bleeding out. Fuck you, let me out of here.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I thought it was like instead of stomping.
I want your eyeball.
Like it was like
actually counting how many times it stomped. That's why I was assuming.
You think it was like bleeding out like 3.145986.
No. I meant like it was stomping like X amount of times. I thought like after it pooped, it was like going like yelling like each like counting them. You know what I mean?
I thought it was gonna say, just wait until I get into your brain, you spineless motherfucker.
Yeah. I know pie, you bitch.
I'm going to eat your brain like a pie. Look at it. I love that. Oh, my God. Scarlett. Do it, Scarlett. Click it. You got it?
Oh, crap. Hold on. Keep it up.
Now she's got to go find it.
Come on, Scarlett. Get it. Do it.
There you go. No, actually, the scream worked better for that, I think. The scream you had a second ago.
The scream was better?
If they're...
Yeah, that works. I like it. I like it a lot. That's awesome.
Great shot, Jamie.
It also made
it's
me
been
think
so useful to me throughout all our shows. Sorry.
It also made me think about Pi too, the way its eyes divided. Like when he was talking about it, I was thinking about like how the eye was sort of split up. You're gonna be my
and we have some agreements. We have some people here saying exactly, very fuck you.
I was. I didn't put it down, so I don't know.
Best scene of the episode.
Maybe he's saying he's so much more intellectual than Boy is, and he just wishes that he could have a conversation with somebody as smarter than he is. Or
multiple goat, and you're gonna be my pie.
Yeah.
Love
Yum,
it.
yum.
So, I'm telling you guys, this goat is the apex, not the goat, it's a sheep.
It's a sheep.
Also,
These are goat noises, but sheep's bleep.
Optimus Prime, I think, is the apex being of like the galaxy. It is smarter than humans. It is
smarter than the xenomorphs. I agree.
I think the xenomorph getting out is bad, but Optimus Prime is way worse. I think, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be an Earth that's full of people with extra eyeballs coming out of the side of their head.
Yeah.
Excellent acting from Victoria here, also, don't you think?
Yeah.
But the Victoria
the sheep. Victoria the sheep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah. If that
we gotta get her for an interview.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this look on his face. This is the first time.
Wow.
This is the first time we've really seen Boy Cavalier be. He looks surprised. He looks a little afraid. I love this. I loved his reaction here, right? He's like, oh, this sheep might kill me.
Yeah. Misha says, I think the plant might be more apex. I hadn't thought about the plant. We haven't seen the plant in a while.
We've not seen the plant really. Audrey 3, we've not seen since like episode 2, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it going to be a finale shot for Audrey 3?
Season 2? I don't know. But yeah. So actually, I was wondering, Jamie, when I saw this, what is that like thing? It's a destroyed piece of equipment.
It looks like some kind of like I can't think of the word for it, but like to me it looks like not a plow, but a
excavator.
Ground up. I can't think of the word, but like when
excavator,
they go down,
front end loader, or something like that. Yeah,
that's what it kind of looks like to me. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, they are still on their way to the boat, and the soldiers show up, and she tells him, she's like, you need to go before it's too late. Like, she's giving him a chance. She's like, you need to go. And they're like, we'll just take them all and find out who the synths are later. We don't care. And that's when she kind of like, I mean, she doesn't whistle, but she essentially does without actually, she's like,
I think Joe says Wendy no, right? Does he say tell Wendy not to do it? He says Wendy no, right?
Does he this Sue? I thought that was after. I didn't know. I think this he was a little shocked there.
I'm not sure, but I think I mean, yes, Bill, Wendy offered them an out, but I think maybe in this scene, if I recall correctly, Joe says Wendy, like, don't. And she's like, whoo, 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 whoo. She's a little bit like the Pied Piper calling the rats, except one humongous rat. I think Joe.
That's a dog.
If anybody remembers who's in the chat, let us know. But I think that she says, I think Joe says, don't do it, Wendy. And she does it. But she kind of has to, right? Like, I get why Wendy does it. And I also get why Wendy's essentially 11 years old. And I guess she knows she's going to kill people, but I wonder, like, if an 11-year-old gets killing people the way, like, we do, and yet the sense that maybe she should because she had a terminal illness and she was going to die, and she kind of did die. Like, it's all very weird the way Wendy approaches killing people, right?
And now she's 11-year-old hybrid with a Xenomorph as a friend.
Yeah, I don't remember Joe saying anything here. I thought here he was kind of in shock, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember, but I does give him a chance at any rate, a little chance. Of course, she doesn't say, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to sick my Xenomorph on you. But she says, leave while you can. And of course, they don't listen, and she gets it to kill him. And
I mean, I guess in that sense, is it a little bit of a just leave while you can? In that sense, is it a very overlordy, like it's a bit dominating kind of thing to say? Like, she doesn't say, don't make me kill you, don't make me call my xenomorph pet. She's like, she just says leave. She's not very, I don't know. Is it a bad sign that she's already going to a very like authoritarian and imperious kind of place? I don't know.
I guess. I mean, that's the only way they're going to get away is if she
Don't put child's consciousness into synthetic.
Yeah, don't do that. Phil says Wendy said we don't take away here. They taught her murder when they took Nib's memory away. I don't remember her saying that, but you're right. They kind of did the same thing
earlier, I think, right?
And yeah, she might have taken it that way. I guess it could be.
It kind of, but I do like the idea of like when they took Nib's memory is that murder. Like, and then they were going to dial down her
basically took her personality. Yeah,
personality. Like it that's a murder of the self of the social and psychological person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is all they are. Like their bodies are dead. All they are is the psychological and social remnants of that person.
Yeah, it's interesting. They kind of explored this in Legion as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right.
When David would took away Sid's memories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Misha says, I think she doesn't care because now she can die. And Bill says Wendy is losing her innocence.
Oh,
I think both those are true. Yeah. Well, I think Wendy's already lost most of her innocence, but yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, she does kill them. I thought I had
she doesn't kill them. She calls the Xeno to kill them.
Oh, the Xeno kills them.
I'll get her answer.
And then she talks to it and
sends it away.
Approaches it. She tells Joe to wait. Did it seem a little strange here though the way this scene played out because she's like, no, Joe, stop. But yet Joe wasn't very terrified. I felt like Joe should have been really, really terrified at this point. And I wanted it to be something where she's like, don't kill my friends. Like you see those kind of scenes in shows where she just to Joe was like, no, stop. And like, he didn't seem very scared that like they're like a couple feet from the xenomorph. I don't know. Something about this scene just that part of it to me didn't play out right. Like I love the part of her approaching it, touching it and everything. But like the part with Joe was a little weird. Like I thought he should have been terrified. It was going to kill him.
Well, I never thought about that till you said it. But Jamie, he definitely should be terrified. And he's had a very terrifying experience with the xenomorph on the ship in episode 1 and 2, right? And he knows what it can do. He was cocooned a little sort of bit, right? He should be terrified. And he should be horrified at everything he sees, especially since I think Joe is the person who's supposed to be like the much more morally grounded counterpart to his sister, Wendy, who's changing, right? Like, I agree with you, Jamie. I think he should have been a little bit more terrified, horrified, freaking out, like, holy shit, a xenomorph is here.
Yeah.
So now he's sus to me. Joe is sus.
Well, because I look at it as just because he knows that she can sick it on the people and say, kill those people, he doesn't know that she can say, kill those people, but not my brother.
I think he knows that. I think he knows that.
Well, it depends how much of the language she knows. That's why, like, I almost wanted to see a scene where she was like saying, no, don't touch him. Like, of like explaining you don't kill this human.
Don't kill this one.
He wasn't scared.
This one's good.
Well, no, I'm just saying because to me, like, I could understand that Wendy could be saying kill, 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 but can Wendy say kill but stop killing? Like, that to me is two different things that you could do one and not necessarily be able to do the other. That's why I think
I don't think she's saying kill though. She says follow and hold back.
No, I mean as they were attacking them.
What she said. So two things here. One is Scarlett's right. She says, Joe's like, what'd you tell it? She said, it's follow and fight, follow and defend, and then
follow and hide.
Follow and hide, hide and follow. And then she goes, I think. And Joe's like, right?
That's the best.
Yeah. But I meant like the actual attack that she just went and told them to do.
My other point, I really agree with Misha. Like, I think he's more terrified as his sister at that point. He's not
maybe
sure how different she is. Like, I'm totally down with that. Like, this is not Marcy. This is, he thought he found Marcy, and wanted to be with her. And there is a part of Marcy there, but this person is not Marcy.
Yeah.
She's not really even that much human, right? Like, I get it. Like, he's horrified that his sister would call down a xenomorph to kill a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. To me, when I think of it, I think that it might be a lot easier to command something to kill without being able to command them to stop. Because it's like, if it's an animal, you could like I look at it like, say it was like an attack dog. You can get them to attack and kill people, but can you make them know when I say stop that that's enough?
I think so. It doesn't kill Joe. It doesn't attack her or Nick.
That's why I think you should be scared, because just because she like told it to kill the other men doesn't mean that she could necessarily stop it from killing everybody, is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's why I feel like you should have been scared.
This is a very beautiful shot, by the way. I like this. I like the fact that there was bugs on this island too. Like, Arthur had bugs and flies.
I love that Arthur was like covered with flies. After, like, when Arthur stands up from the face hugger, there's all these flies zipping around, and I was like, "Ooh, you're dead. You are dead, dude. You're dead."
Well, it's just where they're filming too, though. It has a lot of flies there.
But they could have taken them out. They could have used a lot of bug spray. They could have.
They probably.
But why would you do that?
Well, because if they didn't want them for any reason, they chose to leave them in, right?
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you just leave them in? It's realism. There's bugs. It's tropical bugs.
I mean, Misha has another point about Joe. He's been trying to control Wendy since he got there, and she was pushing back. They need to change the subject. Now he can't change the subject. I mean, it's really true. Joe has been trying to put Wendy in this Marcy box, right? Mm-hmm. And I get it. Because he can't get his brain around what's happening here, because we agreed he's not dumb, but he's not a genius. And she's pushing back against this box because she's intellectually, physically, in every way moving past the sister he remembered, right? And he changed the subject. Now he would always be like, she'd be like, "Oh, Joe, how are we gonna get out of it?" He'd be like, "Wendy, we gotta escape. How will we do it? Don't worry about it. I'll call you. I'll tell you tomorrow." Was kind of hit. I mean, I'm paraphrasing that and making that up, but that was sort of his MO, right? Like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I got it." The big brother, the smarter big brother, not really getting that his sister is now a level robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened earlier on too.
Yeah.
Wendy is pursuing freedom, free will, and Joe's pursuing control and power. Chris and Misha also.
I feel like in a way they're both pursuing freedom, just freedom is different for both of them, maybe.
Well, for Joe, freedom means like get the hell off this island.
Yeah, for Wendy,
get back home.
Something different.
But with Wendy, I don't know if home is home.
Yeah.
But he is pursuing control. He wants to control Wendy in the sense that he thinks that she's a helpless child.
Yes. Bill said, "While not legally considered murder, memory."
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to hide this one.
That's okay. While not legally considered murder, memory erasure is complex and ethically fraught concept that some philosophers argue is a form of killing the self. So we were talking about earlier. That makes sense. Yeah. And then Misha had said, "I think Prodigy are trying to lie and say it's your full consciousness, but for real, it's just a copy of your memories."
Yes.
Yeah. And they've got some form of their personality in there.
But they're going to sell enough of those that it doesn't matter. Yeah, people figure out the truth.
Yeah. Misha also said, "I think he's more terrified at his sister at that point. He's finally starting to understand how different she is." That's a good point. Let's see.
All right. So let's move past this gorgeous scene to the next. They're heading down the road.
Another thing that was starred. I love how no one besides Joe in this episode had decided to ask her what she's talking about. Yeah, he's the only one that actually asked her what she said to the alien. Which
and he asked her late in the game,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you would think that a boy would be so much interested in intellect, he would want to know what those individual sounds mean.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. I think it's so shocking to him to see his sister, who's not even in the same body. Like, he's got to get his mind around, like, his sister being physically different and having to do, like,
No,
I don't
no.
really blame Joe for not being.
I meant boy, not Joe.
Oh, you meant boy. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that completely.
That
Boy,
somebody there would want to like say, what's the language about? What, say the word, hello. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I would think he
You're
would
right.
want to
You're
communicate
right.
with them.
So, wow, Scarlett, he exhibits no curiosity. Nobody does about deciphering this language.
Mm-hmm.
If only so they could also talk to the xenomorph, right?
And also,
Or at least
so
know
he
what the
can
language
control
is
what
if they
Wendy
can't do it
says.
themselves.
Yeah, but also so he can control what Wendy says to the xenomorph too, because Wendy could be saying "kill boy." He has no way of
Not
knowing.
control, but at least understand when she's like, kill
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, they have no way of knowing that. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it is
Scarlett, good
really
point.
cool though the way
Thank you.
she like wipes its face off there. What is
Aw.
supposed to be around its mouth though? I was trying to figure out if that's just the way the skin is. It was a little
I don't know. It's just a little bit different looking.
the way they
It's
did
fine.
it.
It's a
Got
child.
a little dry blood on it.
It's a little different. It's
It's
fine.
a little different.
Look at Joe's face in this one. Joe's like, holy fuck, Wendy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what did you just do? What is going on? And yeah, I think he is definitely scared of her. So then we get Morrow coming in.
I love this.
I do too. This is one of the best scenes I think in the whole episode. And there's Kirsch there with the alien.
Kirsch gets
And
the baby.
Kirsch gets the baby, and Morrow's
I like
automatically.
that they threw that little predator like net over it too. It was nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he caught it. We didn't know who caught
That's a
it when it was
touch.
caught. I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it was ambiguous. I liked it.
Yeah. Because you assumed it was Morrow, and then so Morrow is automatically to slightly. What did you do? And it's like not slightly. It's Kirsch, and Kirsch is like, I got the alien finders keepers, and we're gonna grab you now and like get some. Is like take him, So I love it because it finally showed his plan.
He says finders keepers.
Yeah, he says about the little alien, which is great.
Like a kid.
Exactly. But then he tells the boys to get over with him, and Morrow says it isn't over, and he says and Kirsch says nothing ever is, and to lock them up. And then of course it's hilarious when he tells the kids they're grounded. But
Yep.
the point is we finally know what his point was, what his end game was there. Like he's let this whole thing play out because he was, baiting Morrow. Like he let the whole thing go with slightly for that reason. He didn't care who got killed along the way, but that was the way he was able to, beat Morrow. So I love that.
I don't know. Was he trying to beat Morrow? So earlier in the episode, you're not really sure what Kirsch's
you're not sure till now.
motivations are. And I talked about a long con, and by the end of it, I think, was this a setup to bait Weyland-Yutani?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Not necessarily specifically Morrow, and it was to capture him. Whether he was doing it because Boyd told him he had.
They captured like 40. Captured like 30 people, right?
Yeah,
but
it was a long game to get what he needed, and
I mean, not what he needed, but maybe what was
to capture him. I mean, like he let the whole thing play out with what Slightly was doing in order to capture them.
I mean, in order to, what do you mean? To capture Morrow or to just expose Weyland-Yutani's like ultimate plan? Like, I'm not like, here's my thing, Jamie. I get that maybe it that Kirsch wanted to capture Morrow because, they had that sort of like mean exchange in the elevator. Or can Kirsch even feel that it was just about like being like, let me protect Boy and Prodigy and stop Weyland, right? Like I'm not
sure exactly the reason why. I'm just saying that the whole reason he let it play out and let everything with the face hugger and all that happen was for this outcome. Why he wanted this outcome isn't super clear, but I think that was
right. I mean, and like I think he allowed the whole. So now we see why he was watching. Slightly talking to Morrow and let that all happen and really allowed Arthur to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. And Scarlett, we're talking a lot. I want to hear you and Jamie both. I don't think that the whole thing with the flies and Optimus Prime and the Xenomorph getting loose and all that necessarily was part of that plan.
Right.
But
I think
did
he
Kirsch
just
just
if it
ignore
happened.
it? Did Kirsch ignore it because he had this one thing he had to do, which was to lure Willa-Yutani into this trap?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I don't think he cared anything that happened along the way. It might have even been Boy just said, "Stop this from happening. It doesn't matter what you do."
Oh, do you think Boy knew?
That-
You guys both think Boy knew?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's possible, or I think it could
I
be
don't think
he
he knew.
didn't like Morrow. I think it could go either way. But I think that he didn't care anything that happened along the way as long as he got that outcome.
I don't even know if he wanted that outcome. I mean, when originally the kid was asking for help to feed the animals and stuff, and he was just like, just seeing how it goes.
Yeah,
Kirsch
that
was.
part, I'm not sure that the part with Isaac was necessarily part of it. But
Yeah.
I mean the part of ignoring what was happening with Slightly. Like
Oh
when
yeah,
he was
definitely,
talking to him.
definitely.
Well, I don't think he ignored Slightly. I think he ignored the lab to allow Slightly in the whole business to he
Right.
wanted Slightly to complete what he thought his mission was, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like,
Oh yeah, we have so many great comments. So Bill Chill says Kirsch is smart. He sacrificed the battle to win the war for sure, right?
yeah.
Just when I was wondering where is all the other the old flank move, the bait and switch,
Neutralize the threat.
neutralize the threat.
Got a lot of them there.
Called the Kirsch.
But here we go. So Misha thinks there's an even deeper agenda from Kirsch.
Could be.
I mean, I think we
Crisscross, double cross.
I think we all think that he hates it. Can an android hate? Maybe.
Sure.
I mean, he hates boy Cavalier, right? He's not loyal. Yeah.
That's a good question, though. We think that he doesn't like Boy, but that is a good question, though. Can he actually dislike? I mean, I think in the scheme of it's a TV show, yes, because that makes it interesting. But if you really think about it, if they have no human emotions,
Well, and he's an android. He's the lower level.
Because we're going to have to take it from Blade Runner.
No,
Let's watch Blade Runner, everyone.
But if you think about it, technically an android shouldn't be able to have any opinion on the matter. Shouldn't be able to like, hate. I mean, like I said, I think he does because I think it makes interesting TV. But like if you really pull it apart.
But you're right. An android is like the lowest level. I shouldn't call them low, but there's android.
The hologram is the lowest level from Blade Runner 2049.
What is Morrow called? He's called a
he's a cyborg.
Cyborg, and then the synth, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a reason why Kirsch never he betrays no emotion ever. He's an android. So we'll see like what's his deeper agenda.
Yeah, but it's interesting because if you think about it, like it's also partially as viewers like that we're attaching human emotions to him. Because I think back to like all this stuff that's been on the news. Like, I'm sure you heard fairly recently on the news about I'm saying a kid because he's younger than me. He wasn't a kid. I think he was a young adult, teenager. I don't know. But that had committed suicide after the AI basically told him how to do it when it was a good idea.
Well, that's a tale as old as AI. That's been happening for like years now.
It has, but the AI told him how to do it and kind of implied it was a good idea type of thing. And that's why now they've made it so it isn't as human, I guess. It's supposed to now
they're hoping to do that.
Meaning Chat GPT is supposed to be less personable now, and it's not supposed to seem as much human because people, when you're talking about like all it's doing is
thank you.
But I mean, all it's doing is like answering a question.
Yeah, it's a yes man is what it is.
It's
having a personality when it doesn't.
It's not only saying yes and no. It's designed to ingratiate itself to you. It's designed to be friendly to you, for sure.
Right. But what I'm saying is like an AI doesn't understand friendly like we do. Like we're kind of putting that on it because of the way we look at things. Like an AI isn't good or bad. An AI is an AI. Like it's neither. It's not.
But it can be programmed either way. But
can be programmed to be that way, but
the
that's
point of Kirsch. You're right. We're putting stuff on Kirsch that he's a neutral character, and we're putting stuff on him. Yeah.
But I watched Blade Runner, and I know Batty and Blade Runner felt stuff.
Yep. Hello. Yep.
Blade Runner, yes. But I'm saying like the way that we're presented with what an android is supposed to be, technically he shouldn't care one way or another.
Right. So
he should enjoy working in the colonies.
Bill Chill thinks Kirsch is programmed to succeed to achieve the goal, no matter how he gets there. Yeah, I agree with you. So if his goal was to lure Weyland-Yutani into this situation, Arthur was like an acceptable loss, right?
Yeah, he was collateral damage that didn't matter.
And
so
Arthur,
it's his goal then, not somebody else's goal.
Well, we don't really know what his goal is, but what do you think his goal is?
Could he have a goal as an android?
I don't know. That's why I said him luring Weyland-Yutani there might have been because he was given that order. We really don't know yet.
Or his order could just be to always protect Boy Cavalier. And he's gone a little like
one of those tricky robot laws,
right? Yeah, he's got a lot out there in his. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah.
If I have to blow up this island to save Boy, by God, I'm doing so.
Well, yeah, we've seen that in so many movies and shows or whatever, right? Where it gets a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Bill's getting at what I was saying what I was trying to get at. There's no bias; it only executes the commands, and that's what I was.
It's just grabbing data.
It is, and we.
You know, I used to when
kind of
like people my age were actually. Never mind.
Sorry, go ahead. What?
Go.
People my age were actually taught how computer programs work. I don't think they teach kids anymore how a basic, program works. If A equals this, then this.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but people don't understand. It's not God. If I say this and it says yes to me, it's not God. It's just retrieving data.
I mean,
that's why I said it's not good, it's not bad, it's not nice, it's not mean. It's however unless it's programmed to appear that way. It's not. It doesn't understand that. Yeah, exactly. 0 or 1, if then.
Yeah. But it doesn't understand it's being a jerk. It's just giving you jerk data.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old enough, most of us are old enough to know that when we first learned programming, it was if then, right? If then.
Did I just say that a minute ago?
Right? You did just say it. Of course you did. Yes. And here's Bill saying it again. Like but I think now, like AI could be like if then if, right? If then but. I feel like is maybe come to, right? But you're not then. Oh my God.
They are making it, I guess it's less personable now than it was before because of that issue. Because people are using it like for having relationships with it and all kinds of crazy shit. So
yep.
I mean, each their own, but
can we
not healthy.
No, quick subject change. Misha's pointing out that according to Ridley Scott, Blade Runner and Alien is the same universe.
Yeah, that's why I keep studying Blade Runner.
You do. You keep saying all the time. I think there's a gradation there, and we're not all 100%.
He looks like Batty. Bruce looks like Batty.
But the point is, Misha's saying, like in Blade Runner, the synths are designed to have an inner life, which is memories, right?
Yeah, photos of their youth and stuff. Yeah, at least Rachel was.
Yes. I don't know that I think Kirsch has an inner life. Certainly all the synth children do, right? All the Lost Boys do.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kirsch
really they're hybrids in that sense though.
But it's totally possible that Kirsch is more advanced than like we think he's in, like it would not be part of the thing of in Alien, almost all the Alien movies, you have a person that turns to be an android or an android that turns to be a little bit different. And could Kirsch turn out to be, we think he's an android, he's a synth. He turns out to maybe be something different. It's Timothy Olyphant. He's not going anywhere. He's definitely coming in. If we get a second season, he's in it for sure. It's Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah. I don't know, but I would like to think that he hates Boy just because it, like I said, it's good TV. Whether it necessarily makes sense is irrelevant. It's still good TV.
I mean, everyone hates Boy Cavalier. We all hate him.
Even the people that don't really feel anything still hate him.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no emotions and I'm neutral. But yeah, I still hate you for some reason.
He puts his dirty feet on the table. Right? We all hate him.
His toes.
icky.
Yeah, he's a dick. Yeah.
All right. So they are going to the boat. And unfortunately, they are stopped by the soldiers on the way.
That was crazy.
Oh my God, Scarlett, your girl is there.
It was pretty crazy. I thought they'd get totally to the boat, and then all these people appeared. I was like, wow, that's stealthy.
Well, there's still one episode left, so.
Siberia?
But yeah, they're like, we said not to do this. We knew you were coming. Yeah, he was pretty obvious. Yes,
yeah, he's I mean, we talked about the kids being bad liars. He's a bad liar. He totally let everybody onto his plan. Yeah. And it all goes to shit right here. Yep.
It all goes to shit. And this is where I don't remember what the quote was you said, but yeah, Nib says something like Mr. Strawberry says fuck you. I forget what she says, but something to that effect. And then the guy
well, yeah, because he throws one of the guys throws it in the water, yeah. The little ostrich.
That guy.
You don't fuck with Mr. Strawberry, man.
You don't. She rips his jaw off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Misha's got a point. What I hate might be a strong word. It's whatever happened to David becomes disenchanted with your creator. You're not wrong. I'm just saying, like, as from a viewer point of view, like we want him to dislike.
I like to point out that Batty pushed his creator's eyes out in Blade Runner, smacked the eyeball.
Yeah.
The window to the soul, I might say. You're going for a metaphor in this.
Well, here,
write your own metaphors, everyone.
I mean, before we get to this in the scene, we see our three people, Nibs and Marcy, Wednesday, whoever. They're all surrounded on the ship, right? And isn't this where Nib starts going, making?
Oh yeah, she's making some snarls. Yeah,
right. She makes snarls.
That's coming from the alien. I think that's Oculus.
I mean, where did that come from? I thought it was very alienish. Like, what is she doing, right?
Yeah, that's Oculus Prime juice.
They do say don't kill the merchandise, like
they do.
But
it's only when this person grabs Mr. Strawberry and throws him in the water that then if you go back to that Wendy is like, and she literally rips this person's jaw off, right? She rips their jaw off their head.
She has a temper.
And this is where I was reminded that, they gave 10-year-olds a serious weapon. Like, these are children in control of a gigantic weapon. It's the most stupid thing. No, it's one of many stupid things that have happened. They gave children a superpower, basically. Yeah.
So she is killing the woman that I don't remember her name with the red braids. Siberia, yeah. And
well, I mean, she is. You mean like this whole thing breaks out, and because Siberia is trying to shoot, is why Wendy's protecting. I think Wendy's in a protective mode in this scene, right?
No, I'm talking about Nibs. Nibs was about ready to do similar to.
Oh, Nibs is about to break her neck. Yeah,
the jaw reconstruction.
That she did to another guy. And yeah, you're right. Nibs gets her true form as a murder bot. Was it on the boat? Yes, this was on the boat. So yeah, he shoots her, and Wendy's like, "What did you do?"
You mean Joe shoots her?
Shoots Nibs. And then Wendy's like, "What did you do?" I mean, clearly Joe didn't kill her. They said they weren't going to kill him, so the guns are set to stun. So I feel like she overreacted a little bit. I mean, I get it, it's her friend, but at the same time, I feel like I want Joe to be like, she was killing them. That's not okay.
I mean, other shit happens in the scene. Like you skipped over the part where Wendy starts going clickety click 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 to call the Xeno, and Joe
covers her mouth
over her mouth to stop her from calling the Xenomorph. And I'm not sure when Wendy says, "What did you do?" what she means. Like, does she mean like you shot Nibs? Does she mean like, why did you intervene like a minute ago to stop this whole thing from going my way? Like,
why aren't you on my team anymore, Joe?
Yeah, I definitely.
You're not on the hybrid team anymore.
Because she was calling the Xenomorph, and he put his hand over her mouth and he stopped her. And then all hell breaks out. And then later we do see the Xenomorph like slink away. Like it doesn't intervene. So when he tries to call it, Joe stops her. Other shit goes down. It doesn't take its own initiative to intervene to save her, right? Like there was a point where I was like, "Is it going to come in here?" And it doesn't.
yes.
It's waiting for Wendy, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it might do something. It kind of cut before then.
Yeah, it does seem to be under her control or influence at this point.
Joe's
But I definitely took what she said to mean you shot Nibs.
No, I take it that you're not on our team anymore.
Well, because he shot Nibs.
Yeah, he did like 2 or 3 things. No, but he stopped her.
He's on the human team. He's not on the hybrid team. He was on Team Hybrid. Now he's on Team Human.
I don't think he killed Nibs in the way that other people have been.
No, he knocked her out. He short-circuited her.
We don't really know, but it does seem like he tased her.
Well, they said don't kill the merchandise, so I have to assume the guns were set to stop.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. They're not going to melt the face.
I don't know.
So
I don't know that one shot maybe would disable her. 5 shots would destroy her. We don't really know.
I don't know, but I would assume that Wendy would know that he didn't kill her. But then again, she's a kid, so she wouldn't necessarily.
Well, we don't. How would she know? She's not.
That's what I said. She wouldn't necessarily connect point A to point B. So.
And she's not an expert in fixing up kids, right?
No.
I mean,
but I think if she had the team of Nibs and the Xenomorph, maybe she could have killed all these soldiers.
Look, I would not be unhappy if Nibs is dead because I'm not sure that there's a lot more story.
What?
I'm not sure that I see a lot of story for her going forward. I'm not really sure where her
She's
story
pregnant,
goes.
Man. She's going to have a baby.
Whatever. She's not pregnant. I don't really know.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, I think the story goes to Wendy getting off the island.
I hope Nibs is okay.
Look, I just think Wendy is mad at Joe for a bunch of reasons. One of which, I was trying to call my little pet dragon, and you stopped it.
Well, scream through.
I think that's when she said, "What did you do? What did you do?"
And it's the 3rd time we've heard this in the episode.
Yeah,
the episode could have been called "What Did You Do?"
Oh my God, you're right. Like 3 people say, "What did you do?" Right? Like it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think okay, so Joe, he did shoot Nibs, but maybe Wendy thinks if Joe had allowed her to call the Xenomorph, it never would have come to that.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true.
And your goal is to get, off the island.
Misha says Wendy was going for killing all the humans.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Wendy considers herself human anymore. I think the only human she cares about is Joe and nobody else matters.
Yeah, I think she considers herself more akin to the Xenomorph than humans.
I mean, but she was killing the humans who were aggressive against her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she didn't give them a chance.
She wasn't like, I'm going to dominate the human race and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, oh, well, these people are pointing guns at us and we just want to leave.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, true.
It was a defensive position, I think.
Mm-hmm. They weren't letting her leave.
Yeah, but either way, they make Joe drop the gun, and they're gonna. It looks to me like they're going to capture them, and so maybe she just means like, "Why did you stop me?" I guess it's possible she could mean that, but the Xeno is watching them. It's there. It's still watching.
But it doesn't come. It doesn't come.
She doesn't come.
Right?
Waiting.
Yeah. So how much
control
does she have over it?
Do you guys think that Xeno's a little small? Like, I feel like the Xeno.
It's an adolescent.
It's juvenile.
Yeah.
It should be bigger. These people have no idea.
I don't know. There's so much different versions of Xenomorphs and stuff.
You're right. Some are bigger, some are
pick
small.
what you want.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. All right.
Well, I was very disappointed at the end because I just wanted
a little bit more.
Like, I want to see what happens. Why did you end
a little bit
there?
more of a taste.
Give us the 2-hour finale. Not cool. Bill says where to go? The protagonist's internal conflict. Wendy's last links to humanity. Joe and Nibs now both are failing her.
Yeah.
And we have a new viewer we haven't heard from. Worf says it sensed too many enemies and made a tactical decision to hang back.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
I like that. Maybe. Because that's my question is how much control does she have over it? Or does she? Like,
I
is it
don't really
right
think
now
she-
doing what she wants because it's choosing to? We don't know.
I think control is not. I don't think she has any
I
control.
know that may not be the right word.
I think she
She
has
has influence. She has influence.
Yes, I like that. Influence, communication, but it sends too many enemies and made Tetris nag back, which means granted, Wendy didn't ask the xenomorph to come. It didn't come. It was watching, it was waiting,
Yeah.
It remains to be seen that what level of communion they have, right?
Yeah.
I love that it seemed like Wendy, the whole episode, Wendy's like, "Pooh, come on." And then all of a sudden it watches, it lurks. It
Yeah.
doesn't intervene. It's not devoted to her survival, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Worf says she did let out a call during the fight and her brother tried to shut her mouth. Yeah, I think she started to call it, but she stopped it. Why, whether or not it may still attack, I mean, it could within the next 30 seconds attack, and they just made the cliffhanger there. We really don't know.
I get it. I mean, it's not a full-grown Xeno yet. The xenomorph is growing along with Wendy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that it's aging with Wendy.
Yeah, they're buddies.
Yeah, I like
What's
that.
in the Zito gag?
I'm assuming that from that Japanese anime cartoon. I don't know what it's called though, but I can visualize it. I think I know what she's talking about, but I can't explain.
When they capture her, they're probably going to gag her so she can't like click.
Yeah.
Or turn her down.
Except that I think gagging her is not like it doesn't come out of her voice like a normal, like I think she can still. And I think you might get to a point where she could mentally communicate with it because Wendy is not a person, she's a computer, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the comic books say that xenomorphs are telepathic, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
That's interesting.
On their lore, there's a lot of xenomorph lore. I've watched and read so much xenomorph lore the last couple weeks.
Canon? Are they canon in the comic books? I guess they are.
Yes and no. Some yes, some no.
Okay, fair. That's fair. Like most comic books.
Yeah. It depends. Like some were canon, and then like Aliens comes out, and there's a comic book with Newt in it as a grown person, and it's not canon anymore. That kind of thing.
Confusing, that's for sure. All right. Well, that is.
Oh, Demon Slayer. Okay, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I couldn't. My description. I was like, how do I describe this? Like, I can see it in my head, but I didn't know what it was about. Like, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave this before we have a final. Next week's the finale, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask you guys, do you have any, you guys and the people in the chat, our friends, do you have any predictions or theories of what might happen in the season finale? Scarlett, go. Scarlett first. Right. Scarlett.
Oculus Prime ends up in Boy's eyeball. Island ends up being nuked somehow, expunged.
Nice.
But maybe people survive enough to I would get my revenge on, the other corporations, kind of a thing. Curses foiled again. Boy might not die. He might just have this eye stuck to his head.
He might be the person that it inhabits.
Or they might try it on a mold sprayer, but the Oculus Prime does not want to be in a mold sprayer. He wants to be in Boyd. I keep saying Boyd like it's from.
I know what you do. I figured you were just doing my accent.
Let me see what else would happen. A musical. They all break out into song, including the Xenomorph. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my ragdoll.
At the end, there's a little bit of a dance number.
Awesome.
Kirsch, I think, might be a double crosser. Might be working for another corporation. Either of these two, one of the big five.
Oh, yeah.
Let me think. Anything else? The hybrids themselves, I don't know. I think maybe Curly might be able to do the little electronic thingy, like electric stuff. That would be nice for her, something for her to do. Hopefully, Dame won't die, because I always feel like they might kill her, or they might use her for the eye thing first.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's possible.
Morrow, I don't know. He's a wild, Wild card. He might escape. Probably escape.
Yeah, I could
Right.
see
Jamie,
Boy
thoughts.
where-
Jamie, go.
Yeah, I could see
Sorry.
Boy using Dame for the Octo Eye, or even Moro. I think he did mean Wendy's brother, though seems more obvious. But I do think definitely that we're going to see Octo and a human, maybe talking. We're going to learn more about it, that's for sure. I think that there's a good chance that when we end the season, that Wendy, Marcy, whatever you call her, is going to be on the opposite side of her brother. I think that maybe she's going to go completely, with the aliens or on their side.
Yeah, they're going to be on a run. There's going to be a group on the run where there's more hybrids on the run.
Yeah, and I think that, I don't think that her brother are going to be on the same page at the end. I still also kind of feel like maybe there's something to be revealed about Kirsch that we don't know. Kind of like you said, like maybe he's going to be working with somebody else. I don't know, but it feels like I feel like we're missing part of the puzzle. I think that maybe at least one more of the kids might die, because we talked about before about when I forget what it was, but the whole Peter Pan thing about how he took out ones that didn't listen or something like that. That there was like a quote.
Mm-hmm. It's in the herd.
Yeah, it's in the herd. So I could see another one of them dying. I definitely think some of them are going to be on the run. And yeah, I agree with you. For all we know, like it could take the next season could take place in a different location. They definitely could the island.
So I've got some ideas. I'd love to go to the chat before I have my ideas. So Worf says they should leave a cliffhanger to wrap season 2 interest. Of course, yes, I would love to.
Probably more than one.
I don't like cliffhangers.
Bill thinks Sheep Octopus gets free and takes over the island. Wendy needs to leave the island and head to Utani area. Love that idea. I want to see Kirsch versus Morrow showdown. Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
We gotta, if we don't see that next week, I'll be so mad that we have to wait for that. Again, Kirsch and Morrow will be Misha has the opposite. Kirsch and Morrow will be buds. So Worf wants to see a showdown.
I want to see a showdown.
They will become buds.
Does Morrow and Kirsch get against Boy? Is that what we're doing here?
Morrow and Kirsch
fight get the eye.
How about this? Morrow and Kirsch fight scene, but both narrowly live. Boy Cavalier replaces the kids with the alien creatures, except for Curly. Curly continues to protect Dame. I love it. That is amazing. That is so cool. I love that.
I would like to see Octo Eye, whatever, Optimus Prime. I would like to see it go into Boy, though. I don't know that we will, but I'd like to see that.
So I don't really want to see that. So by the way, Misha says a lot of deaths. There are so many red shirts. Peter takes out the ones who are trying to grow up. Yeah, I get that. And Samuel thinks Morrow wins.
I agree with what you said, though. I don't think they're going to get rid of Timothy Oliphant. I don't see that.
So I think Timothy Oliphant is the major name on the show. He's going to continue. He might have a greater role next season. I think what I would like to see, or what I think will happen, this distance between Wendy and her brother is going to become maybe insurmountable. Like I think maybe by next season it will be maybe Joe thinking that he almost has to stop Wendy or kill Wendy or take her out, right? Like I think he's really going to be horrified by Wendy, and they could become almost enemies in some way, right? Or fully enemies, like he's got to stop her. I also think that Kirsch, well, we saw Kirsch in this whole long game in this season that he was trying to lure Utani into this thing of being trapped. Could it be a bigger thing? Could he actually be on Utani's side? And the point was to get Morrow inside. So like,
I like that. That could be.
Like, could it be could he be a plant? Could he be controlled by Utani or put in there by Utani? And could he be trying to get Morrow inside so Morrow could capture all of them? So not just one, but all of because all of the aliens are very valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also have this idea that I think that while the xenomorph is the thing that brings us in, I've been toying with this idea that Optimus Prime is the real alien, the prime alien.
I just wonder though, my only concern with that is, will they let him change, meaning Noah Hawley, the mythology that much? Like adding a new alien race, yes, but to make it like more important than the xenomorphs.
I mean, he played fast and loose with
Legion.
right? Yeah, he played very
Yeah.
fast and loose.
I mean, I thought this would be a lot more surreal than it is. I thought Alien Earth would be like just a massive trip.
I think Optimus
They could
Prime.
be canon.
I don't want to see Optimus Prime inside. I don't think Optimus going inside of Boy Cavalier is the most interesting way to go. I think
That's what he wants.
No, I don't know if it's what it wants. I'm not sure that it wants to be inside Boy Cavalier, who's a billionaire and smart, but also
the smartest.
Oh, you think he wants to be in like an Atom like character so he can control Boy?
Yeah, like maybe he wants to be inside. Maybe he wants to be inside Joe so he can control Wendy, or maybe he wants like being inside.
You might as well go to the top. You're gonna go.
Yeah, I think it wants to be in the smartest, most intelligent life form.
I don't agree. I think it's a manipulator, and it wants to be inside it wants to be like a Yago kind of guy. You know how Yago manipulates Othello throughout the entire play?
It wanted to get in that. Well, it wanted to get in that xenomorph though when it was in Shmuel.
But maybe it has to be in somebody. Maybe it just has to be. It can't. Maybe
it can't stay out.
I think it's easier to get into Boy because he's in Boy's office.
I feel like it's a Yago character. It's already shown itself to be Yago. It's already helping the. I want it. I think maybe it wants to be inside. Maybe not the power, but the next to power. Maybe it wants to be inside Morrow. Maybe it wants to be, I don't know if it knows what it's to be inside, but I could see it being maybe 1 or 2 or 3 places away. I'd love to see it jump around and like, I'm not sure it wants to be inside Boy, right? It clearly has no respect for Boy Cavalier right now, right? And maybe there are other people it wants to, I don't know. I think
he would go into Boy because he doesn't have respect for him.
Yep, and then maybe jump
just to one up him.
I just think Boy Cavalier is not the most interesting person it could inhabit, and we could see some cooler stuff.
Maybe
he'd become a cooler character if he had an eyeball alien sticking outside his head.
Right?
Well, maybe he'll just get a really cool death.
Maybe he'll get some shoes.
His comeuppance. Vera says, "Will Morrow be the eyeball host?"
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah, because he's still human except for his arms, so he definitely.
Well, he has like laser arms and shit, right? So that would be a
knife arm, knife hand.
And could it get in tomorrow and then jump into like Mrs. Yutani and like have a different?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Worf says, "Boy wants a lowly worker to put the eyeball in." Yeah, I definitely think at any rate he's going to put it in somebody next week.
Yeah, he wants it, but what does the alien eyeball want is what the question is.
I don't know. I almost thought maybe he was going to put it in Adam the way he was talking at first, but I think he's served him well. So I don't.
Well, I think it's just anybody that's handy.
Yeah, so like Boy Cavalier is like one of the smartest humans.
Allegedly.
I think Optimus Prime is smarter, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like a level of intelligence that, and it also is not like a giant dickwad like Boy Cavalier. Boy Cavalier's a jerk.
He is. Misha says, "I want to see another Xeno eyeball fight." I do too. That's cool. I like that. Vera says, "I thought Boy Cavalier, I'm assuming you mean Boy Cavalier, was talking about using Arthur." Yeah, I think it's a little late for that. But that's interesting.
You think when he says I have the idea who I want, you thought he meant Arthur. Interesting.
Because he didn't know Arthur was dead. He definitely could.
Oh, I thought he said a mold
Totally wrong.
sprayer. I thought he said a mold sprayer straight up.
He doesn't.
He did, but then he said after he said that he said something like, "Oh, I know who to put it in."
Yeah, even better.
Yes,
Probably Dame then.
Plant does. I agree.
Because if he tries to do it with Dame, he might have Curly to contend to.
Yeah.
Get his jaw ripped off.
A Xeno get taken over by the eyeball. I think that would be cool.
That'd be
I just
incredible.
don't know if it's possible to take over the Xeno because of their eye covering.
Yeah, we talked about that, right? Like it already struck
Yeah.
into the eye, and they have like armor over their head, and however they see, it's not. Yeah.
And they grew up on the same planet. It might be a defense mechanism against the eyeball alien.
That might be why they had it. Yeah. Misha said, I think he meant Joe though, because he turned right to Joe after he said that. Don't know.
I thought he meant Joe. At that moment, I also thought he meant Joe. He's like, I have the right idea. But when I thought about it, I thought like, well, that would turn Wendy against you forever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, where I could see him doing it to Arthur if he didn't know Arthur was already, face hugged.
But he could do it to Dame, and then Curly might attack because of that.
Yeah. Let's see. Misha has an interesting theory. She thinks Adam's a synth. Or
Adam, the bald guy who's like, well,
or not the boss, the security guy.
It makes a little sense, like when he's like, this is a bad idea. And Boy Keller's like, whatever. He's like, okay, whatever. He's like, I will find some people for you to put the eye into. I mean, he's he's either a synth or the worst human ever.
Yeah. He's willing to do it. Vera is also asking, let's see, wait. I came late. Curly was being manipulative with the therapist. I had not thought of that. I don't think she was, but that's actually an interesting thought. I had not.
We didn't talk about that. We talked about it in the sense that Curly needed a mom and curled up in her lap, but that's interesting. That her Dame Sylvia, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was she was a therapist to her exactly as much as a mother.
I think it means when Dame curled in her lap. Do you think that she was being manipulative with? That's really interesting. That she was not really needing her mom. That she was trying to. I mean,
keep them distracted. Even
I like that idea because I think that Dame Sylvia is not long for this world and will probably be killed.
Get an alien eyeball
to work on them if he kills them all, or if they all get killed.
Yeah,
had to get a new crew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta wipe that island clean and start over.
Yeah, I like.
Go to the next island.
But her mom made her suspicious to her.
Yeah,
but I take the side that Curly knows how good she has it because she was in a wheelchair and all that. That maybe she's accepted Dame as her mom, as her found mom.
She's so angry, Curly.
Yeah, definitely could be.
Well, she's number 2. Nobody wants to be number 2.
I know, but she's such an angry young person.
They didn't pick the best people, I guess, to do this with.
Yeah.
Samuel says maybe the scientist couple had a terminally ill kid, or maybe Curly misses her mom. I mean, I know they said that they wanted to have kids and couldn't, but I guess it could have been. Is it possible that they had a kid and they died? I guess it's possible.
Everyone thinks about that. Everyone doesn't seem to buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought they said they couldn't have children. I thought was what they said before.
They did say it. I agree with you. When you reminded me, I felt like, they said it, that they tried a baby, they couldn't. And now but I don't know. They seem very suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Worf says they could take this show far for a good number of seasons. Next season we could see how the Magino captured the flying eyeball specimens from deep place planets. That would be interesting. Yeah, do like a whole prequel season.
I'd like to have an anthology series where it starts with a different corporation. Totally different cast.
You know what? it's great to hear Jamie say that, because I know you're not a huge fan of flashbacks, and you didn't really, we talked about the
Yeah,
flashbacks.
I thought we didn't need it, but then I liked it that episode so much.
And in the sense that, all these little alien species are way bigger than we maybe thought they would be. Like maybe the alien species are huge characters in this. When we didn't.
Yeah, they made it like the hybrids were the main characters, but maybe they're not.
I thought there was going to be more of an invasion.
We always assumed that the xenomorph was the major alien, and it seems like all the other aliens are kind of equally powerful in different ways, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's Xenomorph's kind of like a spokesperson that was on the posters.
Okay, fair, but
yeah,
but I would say Earth. When I see Earth and a Xenomorph's mouth, I think there's going to be an invasion of Earth, but it really wasn't that much of an invasion of Earth. It was an invasion of an island.
Yes.
Misha says, I wouldn't be surprised if the species were all related. That would be interesting. I'm not sure how that would
the eyeball aliens or xenomorph eyes.
I think we talked about how many came off the same planet versus different planets, right?
Yeah.
And are you all the same, the apex predator of your own planet, or did they come from the same planet? I wonder if they're all from their own planet, the apex, and that's why they're all so advanced in their ability to kill human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vera says, I think the finale is going to have me shaken. Yes. I think the finale is going to be crazy. I don't want to see a cliffhanger, though, just because I don't want to have to wait for a new season.
I mean, I want to see a cliffhanger because that's
only if they know absolutely it's renewed. Then I don't mind as much. How's that?
Yeah, I like a cliffhanger because it makes me want to see a new season. Like, do I want to see a show that could easily end with this, and then I gotta wait? Why would I wait 2 years to see a show that had a nice ending? Now I want to see a cliffhanger, so I have something to look forward to. For me,
I guess I don't
unless they did an anthology. They did an anthology series of a new cast in a different corporation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see a reason to easily clean. Why would you wrap this up? First of all, you can't wrap. There's too much going on. There's no way to wrap this up.
Oh, you can wrap it up with a nuclear missile.
Okay, fair. Why would you do that? And then have another season, right?
What Neverland Island, they said.
Yeah, what? What are you talking about? Let's see. Misha says, I don't think Boy will get what he wants.
Oh no. I keep saying I hope he will die. I hate him. And if there's a villain on the show, there are other villains. He's the worst, right? He's
going to get what he wants before he dies. He's going to get this intellectual conversation with the alien.
I think
why it's killing him.
You know what? He might get a little Optimus Prime in his eyeball for a short amount of time, and maybe Octo will jump out of him and go someplace better.
Yeah, he's not good enough.
He'll get that thrilling conversation, though. Boy, will.
For 1 minute, be like, I'm the smartest person ever. And then Octo's like, boop, let me go back into a sheet. You're a giant pain in my ass. I'm going back to the sheet.
Yeah.
But you got what you wanted.
Yeah, Worf's bring up the eyeball tried to attack the Xeno when it jumped out of the human host in episode 5.
It did.
It definitely did, which I'd like to see that again. That was interesting.
And it tried to attack that guy. It was in the Shmuel, but.
Yeah. Let's see. Misha says, I just like watching Xenos get an ass beating. Okay, Worf liked the flashback episode. I'm scanning through these. That was a good episode.
Oh, the crash, yeah. So next week we have a 1 hour. That's it, right? One episode, 1 hour. That's it.
Yeah.
It's funny because I watched this week was 1 hour off also, right? And last week, sometimes I watch this show and I feel like it's going on for so long, which I love, but I'm like, wait, it's not over yet. Like every scene break, I'm like, is that the end? Is that the end? Is that the end? They do such a good job of making me hold on.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see more of the other aliens? Because I noticed Worf said the fly is an interesting alien that feeds on metallic and mineral rocks. We didn't really get a whole lot of the fly, but we got some of the fly. We got those ticks. I wonder if they'll all be back or if just Optimus Prime or whatever they were calling it now. So yeah, we'll have to.
Maybe that's all the cliffhangers.
I like those other aliens, but I think it's all about Optimus Prime being able to like use them for. I think it was about showing the intelligence of Optimus Prime. I'm not sure we're gonna. I don't know, like, but you know, if the flies got out, that'd be terrible. If like they're all terrible aliens, right? But
Yeah.
I think it's about Optimus Prime. I really think that Optimus Prime might be the story more than the Xenomorph is.
I like that part. I do think that it's the most interesting. Misha says the ticks are out in the world now. They're definitely out.
Oh,
They were crawling over that guy's body, that one that Moro or not Moro.
So they're out. And they suck your blood in like 5 minutes. They're like, whoosh.
Yeah, but that guy that was the one on the ship working for Boy Cavalier, the one that he shot. He had the ticks crawling over him when they left him there. Yeah, they're definitely out now. That
but you know, here's the thing. I don't think they're getting out because here's the thing about this show. It's a prequel to Alien, right? So I feel like they kind of have to wrap up and clean up all the aliens.
Yeah, but it could take a few seasons to do that.
Yeah, they could. But so that Alien, the movie from 1982 or whatever, like they can discover the Xenomorph, right? Like the Xenomorph, and then one or two, there's so many movies and whatever. And the idea that the Xenomorph was already on Earth, like that's got to be wrapped up, right?
Mm.
I don't know.
There's another movie though coming, right? I feel like I heard something about another movie coming out. Am I wrong?
I don't know. There are some people in our chat who are way more informative about Alien than I am. A whole bunch of.
There's a direct sequel to Alien Romulus being developed, supposedly.
All right. So we will see about that. It seems like in the first Alien, Ash knew about the Xeno already. So it's not. Yeah, I get that. So Ash can work. I just saw that movie again like a week ago. Anyway, so we got a new episode next week, you guys. One more week for this.
Yep, one more week. All right. Well, then we will be. And don't forget to, if you missed it this week, don't forget to join us next time at 9 for a watch party that we have before the live stream in our Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord, please join it. And the link is still pinned in the chat.
If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision, like the video, hype it if you have the option, and leave comments outside of the chat. We appreciate it. It definitely helps it. And and then our next show is Sunday at 11:30. I always have to think Sunday at 11:30. We have Daryl, Dixon, and then like I said earlier, I think Scarlett. I know we hadn't confirmed or not, but I guess we're probably going to be moving our Monday show to Thursday just for this week coming up.
Your show all the time.
Our Wednesday show on Monday will probably be on Thursday. So just check out Discord for the updates when it goes up.
All right.
And I have the interviews coming in the next couple of days for the movie Xeno, which has nothing to do with this, even though it's called Xeno.
Oh, are there goats in that? Are there goats? Because I hear them.
Scarlett's goats, yeah. She's still doing her sound effects.
I assume Xeno just means like Xeno, phobe.
Yeah, it's about aliens, but it's not about these aliens. But that stuff's coming. But yeah, so join us again on Sunday, and we'll see you again, same time next week for our Xeno files, but we'll see you first on Sunday. And yeah, I think that's it because we don't have anything till then. So we'll see you guys then.
Good night.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and thank you so much for the chat being active.
Mr. Strawberry says good night, sweet dreams.
Says fuck you.
Yeah. Mr. Strawberry.
Oh yeah, and fuck you.
Okay, good night, guys. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Your jaws and your dreams, everyone.